Welcome back to Lorehammer Lockdown.
Lorehammer Lockdown. We're still in this room. It's been 47 days that we have been in this room.
I feel like it's the, like Law and Order, like Lorehammer
Lockdown.
Day 47.
Right.
Yeah. That's for some reason the vibe I get.
The first 48.
And then it's just like the slideshow of me doing like beating you up, like,
We're pretty sure that these men,
just me smashing your head in the door,
me trying to escape, pulled back into the garage.
The odd one of us just drinking Coke, sitting on the couch quietly,
Hand down your pants.
Whoa, Lorehammer Lockdown, dun dun. Special Victims Unit.
Mark's Garage Edition.
Yikes.
Ian, thank you for joining us.
Still alive. I'm glad he's still
Thanks
alive.
for having me. Yeah.
You haven't caught the corona.
Not yet. Been drinking some.
Yeah.
But
I hear
Drinking Corona or drinking like alcohol?
Yeah.
Oh,
Corona. The alcohol.
the alcohol.
that's a thing?
Yes.
What? Yeah.
No, obviously he's joking. It's just like, no, I don't know.
Yes.
Sometimes it feels like our jokes. Sometimes it feels like our jokes hit so much better than they do, and that just was one of those. I was like, that wasn't funny. Like, I mean, I do that about myself too, but it just,
You had a zinger the last episode.
what one?
Oh, I forget what it was, but it was like very bad.
Like it fell flat.
Yeah, and I loved it though. Like
Absolutely. Like, this is one of those moments where you're like, what the fuck was that? Like,
hey, we're professional podcasters.
that's right. Yeah.
We are.
Professional.
So yeah. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, thank you for being able to stand our presence. So it's nice to know that not everyone has fully abandoned us
Yeah.
to the whimsies of the warp.
Yeah. Well, I'm only here because
We pay you to be here. So
I pay you to be here. Actually,
Well,
since I'm a
you pay
Patreon
us
supporter.
to pay you to be
yes,
here.
absolutely. Yeah. We're very thankful
Right,
that you do that. Here's your 30 cents for showing up.
That is more than me
Oh,
and you have made, Eric.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're making.
It's not bad.
You've made
It's
quite a
very
bit.
hefty cut. Yeah.
Compared to us. But yeah, obviously, if you've listened to our previous episodes about Lorehammer Lockdown, we're just trying to get through this time where we have to not be together.
Yeah, exactly. People are getting all antsy, locked up in their house.
A little anxious.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks just being at home all the time.
Yeah, so
Feels like the
hopefully-
world is ending, but really, like, it's not. But
And like, I don't know about anyone listening, but like, it's been nicer outside.
Yeah, it's getting nice.
especially in where
Over-
we live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like in
Yeah,
Calgary,
yeah.
it's been nicer the last week than it has been over the last
So you're-
few months. And it's like, I want to be out
We're
there.
all
but,
desperate to get outside, but we can't.
But it's
Yeah.
like, well, I should probably do the right thing and stay home.
So instead, we're gonna live that meme where it's like the three girls on a TV, and then there's like the little boy eating a cereal and like laughing along.
Oh, yeah,
We're gonna do that with you guys today. So you can be the little boy, we'll be the three girls.
There's another one of those flat jokes.
No, I was like, should I describe myself as a female? Like, obviously, I'm ridiculously
Feminine.
good looking.
Oh,
Like, I'm 10 out of 10. You know,
Uh-huh.
as it's just, my female persona. Just 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Anyways, today's episode is an Ask Me Anything, or I guess in our case, Ask Us Anything. Ask Lorehammer anything.
Yeah.
But we put Mark.
but
put it
also
on our-
there was stipulations that don't ask me stupid things. So
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
quite an ask me in anything. Just,
Exactly.
Ask me almost anything.
Yeah.
That's what we should do.
do.
Ask me, and then in brackets, almost anything.
Yeah.
There was rules and guidelines.
So we're like this. We did this on our Discord. If you want to be involved in stuff like that, join our Discord.
Yeah.
Obviously, come hang out with us. We do a lot more stuff on there too, but this was just something we did on there.
It's really active.
It's quite active.
yeah.
Like I play a lot of video games and I'm in like a bunch of different Discord server, but your guys' is like popping off.
Yeah, it's pretty
There's
nice.
a lot of stuff going on.
And
there.
it's like pretty friendly for the most part.
Yeah. I've only had one bad experience.
Yeah, me too. And we're pretty quick to
And
chomp down.
It was
on that.
with you, Eric. And your bad experience was with me. So
That makes complete sense, though. I mean,
So other
There's
than
just
that,
the
it's
two
been
of you
good.
guys sitting in voice chat yelling at each other.
yeah.
Just happen to be in the Lorehammer Discord.
we'll do it anywhere. We don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So other than that, it's been good.
That's been a good Discord. Yeah. Anytime Mark's not on.
Mark's on all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not that great for me. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah. Sometimes Eric's there.
Yeah, so we got 25 questions or something like that we're
Something
going
like
to go
that,
through.
yeah.
And
We're not doing any research for these questions, so some of them are like you could research and see like what do we think is the actual thing, but this mainly is just going to be a discussion off the top of our head, off the cuff.
Straight off the dome, hey?
Yeah, exactly. So should we just get right into it?
get right into it.
All right. So Vernal Mia, Writing Finals is their Discord name, asked us, how have you liked having a Discord? Do you like the community? Edit. I guess what I'm asking is that do you enjoy interacting with your community, memes aside, and what is your favorite part of it, like seeing painted models or lore, army projects, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, so Ian?
Yeah, for me, like, I...
Yeah, how do you like having a Discord, Ian? What is that like for you as an owner and of the
I am
Discord?
a premier member. I have the...
He's got 2 tags.
I
He
have
got
two
the
tags.
He has the purple tag. That's a pretty
What tags do
important
you
tag.
have, Eric?
I have the only one that matters.
But
Gold.
One. I have
Gold.
2.
Yeah.
2 is better than 1, I've
What's
heard.
more important, 2 quarters or a $100 bill? Just one.
Quarters.
I still have more.
You can melt those down into bullets and fend people off during the
I can
shoot
pay.
the
coronavirus.
guy
I can
with
pay
the $100
someone.
bill.
I can pay someone to defend
Your money's
me.
no good here.
Imperial credits are fine.
Okay.
Your money's no good here.
He's doing a hand wave.
How
wanna know?
have you liked having a Discord?
So for me, one of the reasons, and I've said this multiple times, that I wanted to do a 40K podcast was because I knew everyone would love it, obviously. That face.
Yeah, that's definitely why we did
I love
it.
that face. No, one of the big reasons was like our group was pretty dead. Our 40K group was pretty dead. Like when we started Lorehammer.
Yeah, which was surprising because now it's not.
Yeah, so
all.
I was basically begging,
welcome.
pleading people to talk to about Warhammer.
Craigslisting.
People to just talk Warhammer to. So I've really enjoyed all the community aspect of it. Like I legitimately make like an honest attempt to message everyone back who gets in contact. I might have missed the odd 1 or 2, but
Well, there's actually a decent amount of messages that flow through Lorehammer on all of our platforms as well. So
Yeah, like-
if we do miss it, it's not because we're actively avoiding people. It's that there's literally like an avalanche of shit
Yeah.
that we go through.
Ultimately, Mark just like really likes Warhammer.
Yeah.
He has fever dreams about it.
oh, I do.
If he doesn't talk Warhammer to somebody, he will go fucking crazy.
I'll stab my
He'll
wife
start
in the
a
middle of the night.
podcast.
Oh God.
There you go.
Yeah,
can.
so I've really enjoyed like the whole community aspect. Like I've met a lot of awesome people. Like Ian, for example, we would have never met him without like he's
Well, some things are better of.
fuck.
I see.
as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me
Canadian
and,
Steve.
and
That's
having
my...
Canadian Steve, that's your highlight. That's your peak.
They're all peaks.
They're all peaks.
Thanks.
Yeah, so having a Discord, it's just been extra good. Like I often do like Instagram live videos and stuff, and those are fun. But the one downside of it, I'm not like self-centered enough to be able to carry a conversation on with myself for an hour.
Right.
I don't know how people do that. So
Well, every time, because I only ever do it when I'm with you.
Yeah.
Which is, I think I've only done it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
But both of those times, like, it's actually quite enjoyable.
Oh,
like
yeah.
when you and I just get to chat, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
we also
With another
get
person,
to
though,
interact
right?
with someone else.
yeah. So and that's what I really like about the Discord is like I'm almost on every day in voice chat, and
Yeah.
I just get to talk to people. So it's nice to be able to just have people. So I've really enjoyed it. How about you, Eric?
Yeah, I like having a Discord.
What's your favorite part about our Discord?
I really like seeing everyone's models and where they're at. Really, like I think that's probably my favorite.
Yeah, like we have 2 channels. We have like a work in progress one and then a finished one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like seeing people like where they're at. I like that a lot of people in our Discord also love giving advice. Like that's a huge thing
Shout
for me
out
to see.
I know his tag was Robert at one point. He
the only one.
now
Bob
now
or-
he's the only Bob. But that guy, like, he is very active and constantly helping people, and like it's cool to see.
we have
that.
we have like a decent like community just for people who are asking questions.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of times you can just be like, hey, like go to the internet. But a lot of people on our Discord actually want to help and feel like they're involved. So I like that aspect of it because I have seen some really like shitty Discord servers out there. So
Yeah. No, yours is pretty well ran.
I also No, I'm trying to think like what's another.
Okay.
I'm trying to think like what's another thing that really pops out to me about it, but that's probably
just like fostering a community.
it's probably
cool,
my biggest
right?
thing.
Like,
It's just like it feels like everyone there is actually there because they want to like help and like exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to like get people to encourage them to talk about the lore. That was that's literally why we do this, is because not enough consideration was given for the backstory of this entire universe from a fan perspective that we thought. Anyways, so then to see other people engaging and being like, I also want to contribute to this entire setting as a whole, whether it's modeling or tabletop tactics and like what kind of lists are you using and or just like what do you think about this story. Like I think it's cool, just people that are willing to come together over something random never talked to before. So I enjoy the Discord, and I like our community 99.99% of the time.
Agreed.
And there's cat pictures.
Yeah, that's the hidden gem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cats for Cassie channel.
It's honestly probably the most active channel. Not that the others are not active.
No,
they are.
Just there's a lot
The
of
cat
pet pictures that go through.
And Maru, the meerkat.
There's a meerkat.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the noises it makes.
Oh my God, Maru's adorable.
Yeah.
It's kind of the mascot.
Apparently,
all of a sudden.
Maru's owner
Yeah.
like makes little coats and hats for Maru, and we're really trying to convince Ursats is like the user that always posts. We're trying to convince Ursats to get Maru made a little commissar hat and commissar jacket, because just
nice.
meerkats just stand up very straight.
Totally do.
Right, so just imagine like Maru in a commissar jacket. Like, it's so cute.
It's totally the unofficial Lorehammer
Definitely.
mascot.
Yeah,
So that's a hidden gem. But yeah, it's been good. Discord's been good.
yeah.
Okay, next question.
Legion_5 asks, how deep are each of you respectively into your addiction? I'm talking money here. Bonus, whoever admits to the highest number gets slapped.
I definitely have the highest number by far.
Without a doubt.
It has to be more.
Yeah, without a doubt. Like
it's-
my Imperial Knight army alone is,
Yeah.
like $5,000 probably.
It's tough to kind of gauge how it is because, like, sure, I only have 2 projects going right now, like Necron and Grey Knights, but I've done many things in between that, and I don't remember all the boxes that I've touched. Between
And that
now
question
and then.
also goes back, like, how long have you been in the hobby, and like how many current armies like do you have? Like, I used to have 10,000 points of Tyranny.
Yeah, like
damn.
that's insane.
Like I don't even have a functional army now, but like that's a lot of money that I have put into the hobby at some point, right?
I think I can reasonably say though that in the last 2.5 years, probably since we started Lorehammer, I'm gonna just judge this.
Okay.
I've probably put like $800. It's not even a lot.
It's not a lot for almost 3 years.
And that's a brand new army.
Yeah.
Like that's my entire Grey Knight army plus little odds and ends for my
Necron.
for my.
So anyway,
Necron.
and Mark's getting slapped. It's obvious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, come over here. Yeah. There you go.
Because you have
Got my pee-pee slapped.
You've got
I got a
fully
lot.
painted Tau Chaos.
Yeah,
Nibs.
realistically, if I would put a number to it, it's probably $1,000 a year. Which I've been doing 20 years, almost $20,000. It's probably a fair
That
guess.
seems fairly reasonable.
Yeah, which realistically isn't that absurd. It sounds like a lot, $20,000, but when I factor in like how many hours I've actually put into it, it's
Dude, yeah, that's nothing
it's
when it comes
nothing.
to like that's
Some hobbies are
thing
obviously
you're passionate
cheaper,
about.
but also some hobbies are much more expensive. Like, Mark, you're not into boats. You know?
yeah, like Brant, my brother Brant, he dirt bikes, and every other year he buys another dirt bike that's worth $10,000.
Yeah.
It's like, so. Yeah, I definitely have spent the most, without a doubt.
For
like,
sure.
you
But
can
it's all
Warhammer
manageable.
all
None of
year round, and nothing's holding you back from enjoying your hobby time really at any given.
None of us are particularly bad with our money either.
No.
So it's not like we're making dumb decisions with our money. We just put aside a lot of our money for it. So.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Only one Bob asks.
That's the guy.
Is that Roberto?
That's the guy who's very helpful.
Shout out to Only One Bob.
Yeah, no
Only
kidding.
one Bob. Thank you.
He's awesome.
Peace, love. Who's your favorite in-universe character and why? And who's your least favorite and why? Let's start with favorite. Off the top of your head, who's the first person that jumps out to you, Mark?
Favorite character.
Ooh, hard mode. Not allowed to say the Emperor.
For either choice?
Yeah, either.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I know.
No, favorite is probably Farsight. I've always liked his kind of Like
Devil may care. No.
No, like the whole like he's got this life-eating sword. Like he was a great commander, but now he's fallen and he's kind of doing his own thing. Like it's a tragic tale of a hero. Like everyone wants to see their hero fall, you know. So I really like Farsight.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have picked that for you.
Well,
No, I'm just curious. Like a Tau. I'm just surprised that you pulled a Tau. There's just
like,
so many like really well written Space Marines out there, and I think the majority of people will pick Space Marines.
Yeah. When I first got into 40K, Tau was my first army because I've been playing 40K long before I knew you. I've had a whole life before I met you, Eric.
That's not
Yeah,
true.
you selfish son of.
No. Mark only exists inside my imagination.
Right.
Yeah, so I was really big into Farsight back in the day.
That's very true.
And then as I got more familiar with the setting and more creative, now I just make my own stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's mine. What about you?
Sigismund.
Yeah, I could have guessed that. Or
Yeah,
Rogadorn,
he'll always be my top favorite guy. Yeah, I think I've only read a couple books with him in it, but it doesn't even matter to me. I just love the character that's built around him.
Yeah.
So much
His
that even
impact.
even if he's written really shittily in a single book, it won't bother me. Like
Sure.
who he is like transcends beyond some author's interpretation
Yeah.
of him. So, but yeah.
Ian.
Man, I don't know. Like I don't really attach too much to like a lot of the like big Loracle characters.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, like I find like
You like your Gribblies?
yeah, like I
Gribbly number 9,665,000,000.
I love that guy.
Shout out.
Yeah. No, like I think that some of the Tyranid concepts like I attach to, like I really think that the personality storing thing that they do with like the Swarm Lord, how he's like summoned at like the direst time to like any battle that they're having is like super, super cool, and he like keeps the personality traits.
Well, you can say like the Swarm Lord.
Cool.
It's very cool.
The Swarm Lord's a guy, but you know, it's not like he has
personality. Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, the Swarm Lord, that's my answer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no,
a very
absolutely.
cool answer
Yeah.
though. Like it's one that's
He's
just been
fucked
seen
up
everywhere.
Calgar, like
Right.
he's
Yeah.
cool. Like, yeah.
Very cool. All right, who's your least favorite?
So if Emperor's not off the table, because
Yeah.
I don't find the Emperor enjoyable at all.
Not in his most recent writings.
I don't know if I was ever a big Emperor guy. As soon as anything beyond he sits in a golden throne was written about him.
Really.
Yeah. I just feel like no matter how you write, well, that I can't answer that, so
Sure,
it doesn't matter.
sure,
We won't
sure.
get derailed on the Emperor.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to him later anyway.
Yeah,
so.
I'm sure it'll come up again.
Yeah.
Call. Mine is Call.
Call.
Yeah, absolutely.
If so, Call's recently he's very recent to the lore.
Yeah.
If Call hadn't been a thing, because Call is also just really shittily written.
Yeah.
And okay, maybe not, but I think that there's a disconnect between there's like a new generation of Space Marine of Warhammer players and the old generation, and very few of the old generation actually appreciate Call the way that new generation do.
Yeah.
So if Call wasn't there at all, who would you pick as like a least favorite? Because
I'm going with another Tau character, surprisingly, Shadow Sun.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
as your least favorite.
I think so. Like it's
is it Shadow Sun's fault or is it?
It's not Shadow.
It's not.
It's the writing
because I know exactly where you're coming from.
But it's like
The time jumpy stuff.
Yeah.
It's
And
really shitty writing. Yeah.
it just I don't know.
I don't really know if there's like an innately bad character in 40K like that's like, oh, this character sucks. It's just like the writing fucks them in a lot of ways.
Yeah, cool concept, but then somebody took the weird
Some of the
interpretation.
Primarchs I think are pretty poorly written.
I think all of them are.
No, I don't think Sanguinius is particularly poorly written. I even think Horus is decent, but like Perturabo, Angron I kind of get. Magnus I don't think is super well written.
Angron is the only one I think that is well written and actually practical. This is a whole fucking derailment.
Yeah,
here.
but I do think that for being the Primarchs, like
Yeah.
some of the most influential characters in the entire 40K setting, I don't think they're written super well.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like their wants,
Right.
desires, and their own struggles, like I think it's a little, you have to suspend quite a bit of disbelief.
That's the thing, yeah.
To actually understand how they got from being loyal to traitor. And I think that just shows like, that's not a great character,
Yeah.
and it's not the character's fault.
No.
It's the way they're written.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I think that's my least favorite is always going to come back to how it's written,
Yeah.
not into like the character itself. Because I think any
That's
character,
kind of what I meant, right?
any
Like,
character
Yeah.
can be great
Yeah.
and can be amazing, but it's
Yeah.
just how is it presented to us? And I don't
Yeah.
think that. I think a lot of the Primarchs are very poorly presented to us.
Yeah. If I had one character that wasn't like under the criteria we just set up,
Yeah.
it would be Erebus. I fucking hate Erebus.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I love it because
It's
he's
good. We're designed. He's written for us to hate him. but
Exactly.
he's
And
a
you
shitty-
do. You do.
absolutely.
Like,
He's a great character.
And
but-
Corferon.
Yeah, he's
Like-
a great character, but you just fuck that
Corferon
guy.
too.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
That's a very good point.
a
Fuck
couple.
them.
yeah, but like they're awesome.
They're very well written, but you
Okay,
hate
so
them.
there,
hate
that's a good
them.
answer then.
That is a very good answer.
well written,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like easily disliked.
So Ian, Gribbly number 44.
No, I think it would
you
also
don't like
be
him?
Erebus for sure.
Okay, nice.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool that we came to that because that wasn't even on the table for me. But
Yeah.
no, that's a very good answer. Okay, Side Lightning asks, here's my question: what is the most forgotten or unloved things in 40K, despite being cool or actually interesting, but no one ends up liking it? This can be something as large as, per se, an entire race, or something as small as a specific Space Marine chapter.
The most forgotten or unloved things.
I don't know if I really jive with the question because I love the things in 40K that are undiscovered gems.
Yeah.
That are the one line, like it's a
throwaway line.
It's a throwaway line that everyone else is like, that's dumb.
The
Why would
throwaway
you
lines
ever?
that you then build worlds around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's something about 40K that really speaks to me as
Yeah.
like a story maker, right, and generator. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying
And-
to
and-
think of something, but
And that's really like two questions: forgotten and then unloved. So, unloved things that everyone seems to hate is Tau. It's weird that I've done 3 Tau, but like lots of people hate
It's
Tau.
true.
Like they don't
And
think
it's
they
like
belong in
community
the setting.
perceptions and things too, or like how they've been on the tabletop for
Yeah.
in the history of the game.
people who
But like they're
love Tau,
actually really cool and interesting.
people who like Tau really like Tau, and people who
Yeah.
don't like Tau like love to hate Tau.
Yeah, there's not a lot of middle ground people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
But even
it's very
like-
memey to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Tau and even to hate on Tau, and
Yeah.
there's not a lot of like actual consideration of why do you really like Tau or why do you hate Tau,
Yeah,
right? So,
but like they have a lot of cool and interesting lore.
so you think that's an unloved thing?
yes,
in 40K?
absolutely. Forgotten.
I mean, just the way that they have their galactic impact is like,
Zero.
of course they're unloved.
Yeah.
Like that's just like embarrassing how minimal they are in the grand scheme of things. That's pretty. They are not
Pretty
being
pathetic.
Yeah, right. Like it's got to be that.
What's the most forgotten, despite being really cool? I don't know, actually. Because, yeah, it goes kind of back to, like, I don't know if they're actually forgotten or if they were just...
Thunder Warriors.
No, I just don't know if, like, it's actually forgotten or if it was just a throwaway
not
line
talked
that
about
you...
that much.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Men of Iron?
Yeah, maybe.
I think that would be like really cool. I would not mind seeing another player.
But is that forgotten, though?
It's forgotten in universe.
Sure. Oh, okay, sure.
I don't think he's talking about
Yeah,
that, but I
sure.
was having a trouble thinking of
Parsing
something like
out.
Yeah.
something that I know that other people, everyone's forgotten about. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know what that is. But in universe, like, I think Men of Iron.
That's
are,
why I
like,
said
been-
Thunder Warriors, too,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like,
Because
yeah.
people don't remember or know what they
Happened
are.
so long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like maybe some weird throwback from like the Eldar civilization would be pretty cool to come back and
Yeah.
yeah.
The old ones.
No, please
You
make
son
them
of a bitch.
stay. I do not want them back. I don't know. That's a tough one. Is there anything else we want to share about that?
No, I got nothing for the forgotten that is actually really cool.
Yeah. Is there a Space Marine chapter that you enjoy, like the character that Games Workshop has built, but it's like a super minor, not important one?
It's almost like every chapter except for the original 9. Like Black Templar. When was the last time we got anything from
Black
them? Like
Templar.
anything. Like I don't know. There's a lot of really cool chapters out there.
Black Dragons. Or what are they called? Dragons? Something dragons.
Black
The ones that
Dragons
has
with the
bones.
bones.
Yeah.
spikes?
Black
Like,
Dragons, right?
Yeah, like they're very
Yeah, those are
cool.
cool.
They have one book. I don't know. Like the word forgotten. It's just weird because it's like I don't know. Like I don't think
I
anything
forgot
is-
it.
No.
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
All right. The Space Nerd 40K asks, what would be your dream 40K game, and do you think there is a good way to push 40K into other mediums, such as movie or TV shows, etc.?
I got a really good answer for the game, but if somebody else wants to go first.
No. What's your dream 40K
So you mean
game?
video game?
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. It says what your dream 40K game. Maybe it doesn't specifically mean video games, but whatever. What's your answer, Mark?
So I like very focused games. I would love to see any game that is completely focused on one thing. I think too many people when they talk about their dream game, they're like, oh, and then I want this, and I want this, and they just crowd it with 1,000 ideas. And then, I don't know, I just like something really focused and highly tuned specifically for what you're playing. Like a good example is Space Marine, the video game.
It's very linear.
It's very linear. It's focused on telling and playing as a Space Marine. They're not worried about like, okay, now how do we balance orcs with this guy and now this? It's just so anything that is just super focused.
Sweet, I would do the exact opposite and make an MMO.
I just don't know how you would do that is my problem. Like, so,
I think you could write it so that it's like it's focusing like the story around maybe like traversing the Cicadix Maledictum or something. I don't know how to pronounce that shit, but like, you know, maybe
Gorksgrin, we just call it here.
Right. There's something inside it that's like going to be the first raid or something, and you know you have to.
Well, we know that like shooting MMOs are a thing with like Destiny.
Right, Destiny.
So like I think an MMO could be an interesting way to explore the world.
Be cool to do factions. There's like three factions.
I just don't think that there's not enough attention would be given to detail to satisfy the rich history.
Yeah, but we're saying what's your dream game? Whatever.
That's
like,
fair. That's fair. An MMO,
put a company behind it that has fucking money.
A free exploration game within 40K setting would be amazing.
Sure.
Right.
I think I'd want to combine like Star Wars Battlefront and Fire Emblem.
Okay.
So in Star Wars Battlefront, like you go from like planet to planet.
Yeah.
And like you like do little campaigns and battles on these planets, like win them. And in Fire Emblem, like things can happen in the map while you're doing other things. So if 2 battles are available to you, you know, you go do one, it might mean that you've just lost the other one.
The other one resolves itself.
Exactly, yeah, without you there.
Sure.
So I think that would be kind of cool to like run a campaign, like you're in a star system, you're a Space Marine chapter that's been sent to here, and like the goal is to cleanse the entire system of these like attackers, and in you know, as you progress through, you do more and more and more, but things you have to make choices and decisions.
Sure.
I like the whole having to make decisions in a game and seeing like what's the impact going to be if I go here instead of here. So I think I think those could be very easily combined.
Yeah.
In a game like that.
Yeah. I just want a game with a good fucking story.
Did you like Space Marine?
I loved it. Yeah. Like.
It's very simple.
It's just a well-executed slice of
They didn't bite off two more than they could chew.
No, and the thing about that game too was it was a unique game. Like there's not a lot of games that play like that.
Gears of War plays.
No, it doesn't.
Pretty close.
No, you're a fucking fool.
You think that
okay,
it's the first over-the-shoulder shooter game to ever exist?
No, but with the mix of close combat and stuff.
Yeah, you're right. Gears of War doesn't have any close combat.
Eric,
that's right.
Come on. Okay, so Gears of War, the whole thing is hiding behind fucking walls.
That's a mechanic of it, for sure.
No, that is
and you use it quite a bit.
Mechanic.
You use it quite a bit.
There is no cover in 40K. They're completely different mechanically.
Well, that's not true. You have no button to attach yourself, but that doesn't mean you don't hide behind things to break line of sight. Hold on. If you're going to be so pedantic about it, there is cover in 40K, and you do use it. You very much...
Or you just run into the enemy
in
keep chopping up
Marine.
things, because if you don't kill things, you die. Like, it's a unique game.
It's not so unique that it doesn't exist in other things.
Tell me another game, because Gears of War is not a good comparison.
Halo, you even use very similar tactics in.
Isn't it kind of like...
It's just an over-the-shoulder shooter with a single path through hordes of enemy. What's so unique about
close combat? The mix of close combat and range.
You might never ever use
like
close combat. You do not have to use close combat in the game. They do not force you to do that at all. You could go through that entire game and just use your range. So melee is not unique to that game because they don't force you to use it.
Yeah, but you're gonna die if you don't do it, because then you can't heal.
I mean, it's not unique. It's like a mixture between.
No, it's a nice game, but I don't think it's
ARPG,
like I don't think it belongs on a category all its own.
I'm not saying it's the world's best game.
No. I don't think it belongs in a category all on its own.
It's
just another over the shoulder
Name one other game that focuses on melee the same way. You can't. Like, it's a very unique mix between shooting and close combat.
It's fine. It was a fun game.
It was a fun game. It was a fun game.
Serious business. This is what AMA.
It's like I'm trying to say. It's kind of like Halo and like a Diablo put together, right? Like you're just like going through swaths of enemies and stuff.
And you're just foot slogging.
Like
through.
ARPGs, right? It's just an over-the-shoulder ARPG in some way,
Yeah.
which is unique in some way, but also not in others, and that's fine. Next question.
Apparently, Devil May Cry, Prototype, Devil May Cry, Prototype, Dishonored, Assassin's Creed. These are all games that apparently, if you like Space Marine, you will very much like those games. Have you played them?
I have played a lot of Devil May Cry.
Uh-huh.
And I have
And it doesn't have melee?
No, it does, but then it doesn't have the same focus on shooting.
Don't you literally have guns in that game?
It's very different feeling.
But it's over the shoulder. It's not the same. Nothing is ever going to be the same.
No, there are a lot of games where it's like, okay, you're playing Call of Duty or you're playing Halo. They're pretty much the same fucking game.
Halo and Call of Duty?
Yeah, the one Halo game that came out. Yeah, absolutely, man.
If you're going to say that...
I mean, yeah. They're both shooters.
Like, those are way more...
So is Space Marine.
No, but there was, like, the one Halo game that came out that was
shooter.
very much exactly like Call of Duty. Even the way they did, like, their leveling and the tier... Like, it was very much the same.
It was very similar. Yes.
You're too literal, Eric.
No, I just don't think Space Marine belongs in a game all on its own. I honestly don't.
Well, it did well, and people liked it.
Absolutely.
So.
Like, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying, sure. Like, if you like Space Marine, like, it's probably because you like these other games too, because they're share a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Like, if you like the way that Call of Duty games work, you're probably going to like the way that Halo game works, right?
Sure.
Maybe you don't jive with the story. Maybe you don't jive with the graphics. But like, if they remove that,
I think it was also like one of the very few well executed.
It's the only well done
40K
game. Yeah. Even Dawn of War, like, every time I see it, I'm just
Dawn of War's
not really impressed by it.
Yeah, but do you like RTS games?
I'm not a great RTS player, no.
Right, like it's a pretty specific niche. Those are cool games, though.
There's a lot of good like lines and artwork and graphics and
a lot of cool stuff.
Settings
A lot
and
of people's introduction to 40K is
yeah,
through Dawn
for
of
sure.
War.
Yeah, for sure. And do you think there is? Oh, sorry, going back to the Space Nerd 40K. After that, do you think there is a good way to push 40K into other mediums? And they list movies and TV shows, etc.
Just giving better companies the licensing.
Yeah, doing good games.
It's
good
just
movies.
like GW kind of gives the license to everybody nowadays, and it doesn't make for. It's kind of like the market is flooded with weird.
Yeah, like those fucking little bobbly head things. It's like, why the fuck?
the chibis?
Chibis. Why the fuck do those exist? To me, that is not good for the. Fuck, those are stupid.
I know a lot of people that bought those.
I know.
They already like it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's another fandom that might not like 40K, but really likes those things. That they're, hey, here's your taste of 40K because this exists.
I don't know. I think if you do anything well is the key thing. I think there's just way too many.
I think they're
things
kind
that
of
are
heading
just-
in that direction, though.
Yeah, a lot of it seems like
if you
they're
look at the
doing
past
well, but
20 years of GW, like they don't
Versus,
try,
like,
they don't
the-
try to get
yeah,
into
yeah.
other mediums, but then now they're really pushing, like children's books and animated series.
those children's books were really good.
Blah, blah. Like there's a lot of content that they're
those.
putting out. Cool.
Yeah, they're much better than everyone online seemed to think they were.
Sure, I haven't read them, but
They're worth reading,
sure,
I think.
Cool.
I think we can all agree that we don't need Lorehammer Monopoly though.
Warhammer Monopoly?
would be cool.
I am super stoked to play that game.
You guys are ruining my
I love
IP.
board games.
I love Monopoly.
Yeah, why would
Like, I love the Zelda Monopoly too. Like,
they're all cool.
yeah. It's the same game over, but it's just you get to assault Cadia this time,
Yeah.
like.
No. So I think another big thing is don't bite off more than you can chew. A lot of people just like, oh, I wish they did this epic 18 movie Horus Heresy trilogy with. Like,
they want to pull like a Marvel cinematic.
yeah, and I think
thing, you know?
I think you
Right.
need to really be focused. I don't know. I think I always go back to that.
Yeah, you'd
Do
rather have
something-
like a well-written thing about like the Inquisition or something.
Something
than
very
it be
focused.
Even the
whole-
Inquisition
having-
seems very big.
Yeah, that having
Or,
like
well,
drawing
yeah,
from
but I know what you
thousands
mean.
of things, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Just do something good.
Like the Horus Heresy would have to be a Game of Thrones length, fucking huge TV series to pull off in any sense of effectiveness, right?
Yeah,
And nobody's gonna fund that. So
yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I like.
I think we're gonna see more mediums coming out in the next few years than ever before for Warhammer. So
Yeah.
like it's looking good
Like,
if you're into that kind of stuff.
they're already obviously into books and they're into games, like board games, as well as like creating their own proprietary games
Specialist
like Necromunda
boxes,
or Blood Bowl or any of that
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, like almost anything that increases like awareness of 40K is good.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a feature film or something in 5 years time.
Especially now that Eisenhorn is like a real thing.
Right.
That's literally the door. I mean, there already was a feature film. It was called Ultramarines, and it was
not done good.
1 out of 10.
But I mean, like,
that movie was so amazing.
When you see things like Warcraft coming out, not like it's a polarizing film. Not everyone loved it.
It was also a pretty shitty film.
Not everybody liked it, but
But it's just the fact that game studios are now entering into this other big money making thing. So
right.
Obviously, there will be some in the future, and I'm looking forward to it. I think definitely goes back to what you said, Mark. Like, if you do it right, anything that you do is going to work.
It's going to be good,
Yeah.
But that means people have
doing
to
it right is also very different because you and I will have different ideas. I mean, there's a couple things that we will always agree on.
By doing it right, I don't mean like telling the right story. I mean
the execution.
Putting time in and not just like slapping something together because you're greedy, money hungry hookers. Finding people who are passionate about something and putting time in to actually do a good product.
Well,
Like these bonus episodes, we don't put any time into it. Are they going to be
passion?
There's no passion. We're dead inside when we're doing these, right?
Absolutely.
They're not going to be good to listen to.
No.
But no, it's just.
But there's also just a creative difference in terms of how people interpret things. Like,
but I can understand.
Look at the Mandalorian versus the new Space Marine.
I can understand creative differences, so I can understand that, and I get that. Like, but you can tell that the Mandalorian, it had substance. It was good. They were passionate about it. The new movies, whether you like them or not,
felt, but I agree. I agree. It felt like the person who was behind Mandalorian had really stepped way more into what Star Wars had meant.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Than the new Star Wars movies. It felt like new Star Wars movies was like, okay, we were here, but we actually want to be somewhere very different. Because
the new Star Wars movies are well executed and have a bunch of money behind them, but
they're not. They don't
not necessarily capture
no one will ever talk about those movies
in a good light.
Or even in 5 years, like who fucking cares?
Or just to be like, hey, this is what you don't do.
But is anyone ever going to go back to watch them? No.
But like the Mandalorian was like really well done, especially the first 3 episodes. Like I absolutely jived with that thing.
Yeah.
And like, which one actually cost more money? Which one actually took more time? Definitely the movies, but there was that passion and someone who it really looked like their attention to detail was like.
So I think
really
that's the key. You just got to get people who are actually like in it because they like it and not because they're fucking
not just because they're trying to get a paycheck out of it.
Exactly.
And in that case, I would be happy with literally every single medium. I don't care what you do then.
Yeah.
Drown me in 40K content. I don't care.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not like we wouldn't love it, right?
Absolutely, yeah. If it's created by someone who's just as passionate about it as we are, then what's not to like,
Yeah.
Aren't you making a feature film, huh?
We need more Lorehammer Patreon money.
Patreon.
Yeah, exactly.
The SPE Double Nizzy asks,
wow,
what's your favorite throwaway
He's not a piece of shit. That's a joke.
Yeah, that was
that
from
I gave him. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I see.
His actual Discord name is Spenny.
Yeah.
Spenny asks, what's your favorite throwaway line or bit from the lore that you'd like to see expanded upon?
That I'd like to see expanded on. That's a weird one because I think a lot of these throwaway lines I like the.
I love the fact that they're throwaway lines.
I like the vagueness of it. Yeah, like
it's fun being able to discourse about these things and what either of us get perspective from.
Yeah.
Like
so like a great example of this is like right before the Cicadictrus maledictum happened, the Astronomicon went out for like 1 second. Oh, what the fuck does that mean? Would I like to actually know what that means? No.
Probably not.
No,
Because
probably
whatever
not.
they do, we're not going to be fully satisfied
Exactly.
with.
I love the mystery, and unfortunately, we don't get enough of that anymore.
Yeah, and I think GW like understands that part of the attraction of the universe is creating your own worlds within it, right? So like hopefully they continue to give us those little tidbits like Like it's cool
that
to know
it's
that
just like that perfect jumping off point to get you inspired to write your own thing.
Right. Like it's cool to know that like, Reboot has a secret conversation with the Emperor when he comes back or some like little things like that.
Do I want to know what their conversation was? Do I want to know how it happened? No. I don't want to know how the Emperor communicates. I want to leave that open to the imagination.
Yeah.
Like there's just tons of cool writing of your own that you can impart onto those little one-liners.
Yeah.
So they don't need to expand on it themselves.
Maybe not one that you'd like to see expanded, but what's something that always gets your juices flowing then? What's a one line?
I got one that you'll appreciate. There's like apparently the Grey Knights have like this Omega box and
the Terminus Decree.
The Terminus
I fucking love that thing. Oh my god.
Like, we actually have the answer to everything in this box or something.
So if you don't know what the Terminus Decree is, it's allegedly a little box like fits in like the palm of your hand, and the Grand Master and like so all the masters and the Grand Master know about it, and it's held in Titan in like their vault, their labyrinth, and it's like written on it like at humanity's darkest, most dangerous hour, like open this and you'll save everyone.
Really?
Like, what
and
the
so
fuck is
like
in there?
what's in there? Like, does it say kill the Emperor? Does it say kill like do this? Like what is actually does it say to do? Like what's the solution to all the problems that fit in this single box? Is it knowledge on how to like completely seal off chaos, or is it knowledge that turns all of humanity into psychers? Like,
it's literally just a singularity in a box, and it's just gonna suck the
but
entire
that's such
universe
a cool one. That is 100% my favorite little thing in the entire 40K universe.
Another one that kind of pops in the head right away is the Flame Falcons and how they spontaneously combust. Like that's very much a throwaway line. Like they don't talk about them ever again.
No, it's mentioned once.
It's like Let's Canem has like three sentences on them. It's like, why the fuck do they spontaneously combust?
Yeah, it also makes me like, what else happens to Space Marines that I haven't heard about?
It opens up like that crazy possibility of like, fuck, maybe some of them turn invisible. I don't fucking know. Like maybe that
Malinchromin?
Yeah, that they secrete on their skin.
The muconoid.
Yeah, maybe that has like reflective capabilities or something. Like, and now they are invisible. Like, you could just really go wild with it.
Yeah. And that's the best thing about throwaway lines is that because they aren't fleshed out, you don't have to structure your stories to this rigid already given out like formula. Instead you can do something that you want on your own. Like it never tells us in Flame Falcons whether it's warp or genetics that causes them to light on fire. So you know what,
and then they end up getting destroyed, so we'll never even know.
Exactly. And if you want to make a chapter that has something like that, you can leave it open-ended. No one says you have to fully detail your own stuff, because if you try and go too deep, someone is going to come after and you'd be like, well, actually
that doesn't work.
That someone will
according
be
to space physics.
And you can hear that on the Listener lore.
Submit your lore to us and we'll talk about it.
There's so many cool ones. I'd be curious actually, so if you guys sent me your favorite one.
Oh yeah, what's your favorite like throwaway line that gets your juices going?
Because there's a lot of cool ones in there. I think
Iain, do you have one?
I think mine's like the Doom of Malantai and what actually happened after, because like it's
what is the Doom of Malantai?
So the Doom of Malantai was a Tyranid organism that essentially like was found on a craft world and slowly just started like siphoning its souls and got so powerful that the more souls that it sucked, its psychic field just like eradicated most of the planet, and they came back and found it like years later, and the planet was completely desolated and it wasn't there.
Like the Tyranid hive wasn't there?
It was just the one organism that like wiped out the craft world, and then
and then where did it go?
And it didn't go anywhere.
Oh, very cool.
Like it wasn't there, and nothing was there when it was rediscovered. Nothing was there at all.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what?
Yeah.
It used to have rules too, and it was really cool.
Oh, very
it's
cool.
really good.
I think
too.
I might have heard of this before.
Yeah. Back it was in like 6th edition or something. It used to, whatever wounds that it did, it would increase its aura range, strength, and toughness, and wounds. So if it had caused like 6 wounds in a turn, it would increase its wound characteristic up to 10, and then whatever its wound characteristic was, its strength and toughness became that as well.
Okay.
That was crazy.
Very cool.
Did it look like...
It never had an official model.
Oh, okay. Did people always model it as if it was just one of those like...
It's a massive zone thrope.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
I feel like I've seen that.
Yeah.
I think the reason it doesn't exist anymore is because there was a really popular third-party model that came out for it, and
that's so crazy.
GW sued them.
Yeah, that
And-
happened with a lot of their stuff.
But for whatever reason, the other company ended up getting the rights for the name, I think.
Interesting.
And so now the Doom Valentine will never exist again.
Yeah, and that's why that's why we never get models without rules nowadays either.
Yeah.
Because
So they
that
always
used to be
release-
Don't quote me on that,
yeah.
but I think
no,
that's what happened.
Yeah, because that used to be incredibly common where we'd just get like
Yeah, I do know about that.
where we'd just get models.
You just get
without
like,
rules.
or you just get a bunch of rules with no models.
yeah.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
my favorite one, I think.
So
All right. Side Lightning asks, why does no one, not even other Chaos people, like Perturabo? What's so wrong with him?
Smells.
There's nothing wrong with him. He's just poorly written.
yeah, just
They
like
try and create these weird power plays between like okay, what's the Primarch that you're opposed to? You're diametrically opposed to, and Rogaldorn and him are supposed to be like the opposites of each other, and it never comes off quite right, I think.
Yeah, he always comes off as this whiny bitch, and it's just like,
well, he's
really?
a Primarch. He's not a whiny bitch.
You're this godlike being, yet you're a little butthurt. Like,
Yeah, it's someone's just poor writing of what it should be.
Yeah, I think all Primarchs suck the way they are written. I'm not a fan of any of them, but
I like Horus. I think Horus is well written.
he was decent.
Sanguinius
for sure.
is cool.
Sanguinius isn't bad.
It's pretty cool.
But I totally know what you mean, though. It's also tough to like really connect with something that's supposed to be very foreign to you as well.
Yeah.
How many human emotions are you supposed to give this being that doesn't think like a human?
Right,
Yeah.
they're supposed to be
So-
demigods that
Yeah.
have like
Yeah.
one
They're,
emotion that's
they're not even
exemplified.
human at all. Like they're gene crafted.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
anyways,
So, yeah, I think
I don't
that's
think there's anything wrong with Perturabo. It's just
Yeah,
who,
I
he's
think-
been written shitty.
Yeah, and he's become a bit of a meme where it's just like
Nothing innately wrong with him. Primarchs in general
Yeah.
are the problem.
Yeah.
Vernal Mia Writing Finals asked, what faction would you like to see expanded upon that is already in the game? Like Inquisition getting redone into a full army, Legion of the Damned, Militarum Tempestus, Sisters of Silence, and how would you like to see it done?
So I don't know if he intentionally or she intentionally named these ones specifically because that's something he would like to see or that community in general. But each one of these, I would not like to see anything more on. I can break it down. So Inquisition, they're not supposed to be
They're not
this
an
huge
army.
No, they're supposed to be an Inquisitor, his retinue, and then maybe some stormtroopers.
Same
maybe.
with the Sisters of Silence.
You know who I would see before Inquisition?
Who?
The Ecclesiarchy. I'd way rather see the Frateris Templaris
Sure,
on the
yeah.
tabletop instead of an inquisitorial retinue.
So is that your answer then? Overall, or is that just
oh, maybe. Yeah, probably.
yeah, like
I wouldn't
Legion,
mind seeing that.
like Legion of the Dam. I wouldn't want to see them have now bikes and vehicles. Like no, I just want them as one squad where it's like these ethereal things. It kind of goes back to the whole. I don't want to see more quite often. I think sometimes
Yeah, leave it as it is. Let us use our imagination. Why are there no bikes in this army? Why are there no why is it just them that appear? And
Yeah, Military Tempestus. I think they have quite a bit of
they
information on them.
exist
They're,
quite a bit. Yeah.
yeah, like in their elite guardsmen essentially. Like I don't know, they got quite a bit. I don't know what else you could add. And then Sister of Silence. They were never supposed to be an army.
Yeah, that was.
they're more just like hunters.
Yeah,
Is how I see them.
yeah.
Although apparently Talons of the Emperor is going to come out in the near future.
Well, we also originally said that we never liked to see Custodes as an army on the tabletop. So that if we don't like to see Custodes and Sisters of Silence are like hand in hand, obviously we're not going to super
Love
enjoy.
that. Yeah.
Well, even though I love the Custodes like sculpt and like the rules, I think really reflect who they are. Like armor save of 2, hitting on 2s, like they're
Rolling one.
Yeah, exactly. They very much play like the elite army. I just don't think they actually belong on tabletop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would actually might even say the Frateris Templar. I think it would be cool.
Get behind that maybe?
There's churches everywhere,
Yeah.
and like if you're denied into the guard, the church will always take you.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I could see like these hordes of humans whipped up into a
But
frenzy.
they're not allowed
and
to
just,
have an army.
They're not, but they have one anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's my answer. I would like to see Frateris Templars.
Okay.
I mean,
how would they look?
obviously-
How would they look different from Sisters of Battle though? Because
Because Sisters of Battles are in power armor. These guys would
Yeah,
not
like
be in
they're
power
an
armor.
actual standing army, where these guys are more like a rabble.
Exactly. This is a rabble,
yeah.
and
A
then your
militia.
HQs are like different priests and like
Right.
levels within the priesthood.
Sure.
Maybe there's even an Ordo Hereticus Inquisitor there or something.
Cool.
Yeah, or even Sisters of Battle that they would ally themselves with. But
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I should always say I want more Xenos armies first, because I truly there needs to be way more Xenos representation.
Yeah. Well,
But the
Yeah.
more I think about the ecclesiarchy,
Could be cool.
yeah,
yeah, I think like it has to be Tau, right? Like
Has to be Tau.
Has to be Tau, hey?
just in kind of that sense where you're trying to build in the other minor Xenos into like I mean, we've talked about this on the podcast before that
Yeah.
Tau shouldn't be its own army. It should just be a collection of minor Xenos races.
Yeah, whole variety of weird aliens.
But even if we were
Absolutely.
just talking about the Tau, just
Yeah.
give them fucking warp travel.
yeah, like, so that'd be the thing. If we're talking about surely like a lore perspective, 100%, I agree. Tau need to be a galactic player. They have to be. They have to be expanded.
It's like
into
one or
that.
the other. Like make them, they can be shitty, but then they have all these options of banding together and forcing other things into the greater good and
yeah.
making
But then
all these
show
alliances.
us them. Show us
Yeah.
the representation
Right, so
of what it took
you've
for them
got
to
a
do
whole
that.
bunch of different alien races that are
Yeah.
folded in, or you scrap that and they become like mech battle suits only, and
Yeah. They still accept people into the greater good, but it's very obviously like.
but it's more like a subjugation thing,
Exactly.
and they
yeah.
get more models and they can cross the galaxy and are actually
Yeah,
like
make
a
their
player.
empire much bigger. and-
I think it's one or the other, and they have it in the middle right now, and it doesn't make any sense.
No, it's bad. So yeah, I would agree with that from like a lore point of view for sure. If we're talking about like models, I would love to see Dark Mechanicum get its own range.
Oh yeah,
Because it's such a major thing, and as much as people like to see Chaos Space Marines versus Space Marines, that same hatred would be Mechanicum and Dark Mechanicum. It's very much that opposite. So I would like to see Dark Mechanicum.
yeah, because they're like behind everything. Right?
Yeah, without
Like,
just like the Imperium, without the Dark Mechanicum, there would be no
There'd be no chaos
there.
like
Yeah.
war raids or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So it's such a crucial
it's weird
thing.
that they don't have any representation.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like AdMech, they've existed in the lore a long time, but like they got a codex. I wonder what the exact date is, but I'm gonna say 5 years was their first model release.
Like in 7th edition.
Yeah, maybe they came out
Really?
in 6. Oh, I don't even know what to Google search.
They were new in like Skitaria was new in 7th, right? I think.
I don't even know if I could tell you. I think it definitely hasn't been a long time since
No, if I was to take a guess, yeah, I'd say like 5 years probably. Yeah, I don't even know what to Google search.
Well, I'm
We're
just gonna
searching
check
right now.
what's the earliest source on the Lexicanum.
Oh, I guess it would do first Skitarii.
So Codex Imperialis is 1993. And that's number 1. Yeah, I don't know. That would take actually if you don't know offhand, it would take probably a decent amount of digging.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they've been in the lore from the very beginning. But yeah, they're Codex.
7th edition I can see is on the Lexicanum is the earliest.
Yeah, so
I
like
thought
they're
so,
not
yeah.
very old at all, the AdMech, which is interesting. So that's all. I definitely would like to see a Dark AdMech or a Dark Mechanicum.
Anything new would be cool,
Oh, yes.
right? Like
Of course, obviously.
I think you could make this argument for every single chapter
Yeah.
of Space Marine too, except for like the main ones.
But
you
you
know?
shouldn't. But you could.
You could.
You could do a lot of things.
More Black Templar models.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Melee Primaris?
I would love it.
Yeah, they need it.
I would like. I'm not even an Imperium guy at all. I would immediately buy an entire army if they gave us like
You have like
1 or
500
2
bucks just
units.
sitting in your bank account
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
waiting.
immediately just like blow my load on Black Templar Primaris. You can't
Yeah.
like it would be lightning quick.
Black Templar. Oof, so good.
Yeah, dude.
Next question.
All right. Legion_5 asks, what would Games Workshop have to do to fix Primaris lore? And don't cheap out and say something like, throw them away. So obviously throw them away.
Yeah. I got an answer, but if you want to go first.
No, go for it. Yeah.
My answer would be get rid of regular Marines. I just hate that I
There's
hate
the
that
two
there's-
options.
Yeah.
The fact that they're not Space Marines, they're Primaris Marines.
Yeah, and
I
the fact
much
that we
prefer-
have to distinguish before,
Yeah.
like the fact that they're still making regular Marines
when Primaris are very obviously better.
Yeah. It's just I hate that they have both. Like I could very easily get over it if they're just like, okay, no more regular Marines. It's like, okay, thank you.
You just play Legends. Like maybe they even still include the line, right? They still keep releasing cool models and stuff. And maybe all I'm saying is maybe this doesn't mean they have to scrap the line. It just means they need to remove it from the setting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that would be the simplest fix, because then all my complaints, not all of them, it's still bad lore, but I can get past it. But just the whole thing where there's these two fucking super soldiers existing, I don't know, to me that would be the easiest tweak. That's a logical tweak. I'm not asking for them to like retcon anything. It's just progressing it to the most logical state.
Yeah, no, I think that is like one of the best ones without a retcon.
Yeah.
Like pull a Thunder Warrior.
Yeah.
Kill all the squats.
Yeah. Whether they actually intentionally kill them all, I don't know if I'd like that, but hey,
even
sure.
that I can get behind. But it should be the same effect.
Yeah.
Right? Like get rid of everything because the new wave is here.
That would be cool.
Yeah, like
they've done it before, right? Like
I think if they got rid of all those somehow, but it would need to be like instant. It shouldn't be like, hey, over the next 500 years, they all died out or whatever.
Yeah, well, like, here's the thing. Like, it's been 200 years already since Primaris have been introduced. Like, how many regular guys are there still?
Many, because they're still making them.
Yeah, like, but, like, if they weren't, like, how many would there realistically be?
Probably very
200
few.
of the hardest fighting since the Horus Heresy, like... And since a lot of them are becoming Primaris Marines, too, that's, like, why would anyone ever be one then?
Yeah, what's the if it's obviously better to be a Primaris Marine, why would you still bother?
Yeah, and it's not like there's like 8 years of downtime where it's like, well, we just can't Primarisify everyone in time. It's like, no, it seems pretty much like you can do the surgery in a day,
anytime,
and then the Belisarius Furnace kicks in, and they're fucking better.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you take an entire chapter out of commission for a week, and you just go through the ranks, and then now they're all Primaris. I don't know. To me, that would be the simplest and most like logical next step. That would fix a lot of my gripes about them.
Would you ever be okay with them turning every single regular Marine into Primaris?
Like, obviously no. Like they the way they've written it is like, we've talked about this before. It's a dangerous feat to go through the Primaris.
Yeah, it's only like a 30% success rate or something.
Yeah.
So they would be risking a lot to send all of the Marines.
When was the last time you heard of a Marine dying from going through the Rubicon?
Yeah, there's not a single example.
No, there isn't. Yeah.
So
literally everyone they put through passes.
Yeah,
right.
and I just...
Especially if you're a named character.
Of course.
Especially if you're a named character.
Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they talk about how dangerous and how many have died, but they don't name any names. Name a name.
Yeah.
Kill...
It's like the coronavirus. Until a leader of a country dies, what does it really matter?
Hey, Prince Charles just got infected.
Also, you don't get superpowers when you come out of it.
Small disclaimer.
Do not go and
don't get coronavirus intentionally. It is not like the Primaris.
Do you want to hear something never mind. We'll
I do, yes. Okay, after.
I'll tell you after. But yeah, I agree. I think they should get rid of all the old Marines, whether or not it's an intentional or just hey, you're slowly going to die out because we're not making more of them. However you decide to do it. I like the grim darkness of like, let's just clear the path for the new thing. But it would have been better.
Like this one grand crusade into the Eye of Terror.
Absolutely, like that. Here's like a way for you to like
the Necron tour did that, and look at how they turned out.
Wonderful.
Yeah. But if you were to retcon it, how would you rewrite it? Like, would you write it where Call had been working on this for 10,000 years?
The only way I would rewrite it would be if the Emperor himself was working on it this whole time and he was missing some piece, or he commissioned Call to do it or something. Maybe this was a part of like when he went back to Terra to do the secret Webray project. Maybe part of it was also he was making the Primaris Marines better.
Right.
The Emperor has to be involved because as soon as he
ends up sacrificing his final life force to like power the whole, like all of them turning into Primaris or something.
Yeah, to me the Emperor has to be involved. Just the fact that mere mortals can do it.
Pushing the story further would be cooler, right?
Killing the Emperor?
Yeah.
Sleep with the Emperor.
Why not both?
Why not
In
both?
what order?
Which one do you think?
Don't like that. So something that's just like kind of bubbling on my head.
Yeah.
so every human is turning psychic eventually.
Sure.
And I don't mean every human. I mean humanity.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
Humanity is going towards
It's
a
trending,
psychically
yeah.
awakened race.
Sure.
Right? Like the more and more psychers are born now than ever have been.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just really slow.
Exactly. But at some point, every human born is going to be a psyker. That's like the emperor's like part of why he was so desperate to like contain like the warp is because he knew that we were like an awakening as a psychic race.
Yeah.
What if it got to the point of where like when enough psychic or like humanity psychic energy was built up, like the emperor was like, okay, now I'm ready to unleash like the next phase of my plan. And then he like unlocked something that he had implanted in all these space marines originally.
He's literally just sitting on his throne and waiting for humanity.
Yeah, he's just waiting for humanity
to
reach this point of where he's like, okay, now it's time. And then he just, I don't know. This is just me
stands
like
up,
shooting the shot, right? Like,
right.
But like, I don't. I can see how like I could probably
Sure.
write like a decent thing where I'm
So
satisfied.
you want
of,
the Emperor to activate his trap card.
Yes.
I do. I also agree that I do think it has to be the Emperor's own intervention. I think anything like if it hasn't been done in 10,000 years, like, and if it's not immediately declared a heresy, like, come on, like,
Yeah.
that's so brutal.
Yeah.
It's just like has no advancement been made? Has no scientist been looking at human bodies and space marine bodies and how we can improve upon it? Like maybe they have, but it's not allowed. So why is all of a sudden? And I get it. Sure, Reboot, Master of the Imperium. He said it's okay. Like that doesn't make it okay. That just makes it shitty writing.
Yeah,
that just means that you're like, how many avenues did Games Workshop actually explore before they landed on this one?
Yeah.
Like, so it doesn't seem like they actually did a lot.
From my sources, from their sources, yeah, like, I know we made jokes about, like, the goddamn GW marketing team before, but, like, apparently that's a thing. Like, apparently...
A lot of it comes back to what's going to generate numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like these guys are money people. So, they're not 40K people.
Yeah, so apparently, like, the people who designed the models... Their whole idea was it's Mark 10 power armor. There was no Primaris.
I have heard this too.
Yeah, I've heard it from like a reliable source who like literally knows people inside, like good buddies.
Yeah.
So
still take it with a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt, but yeah, like it's such a
blatant. We're very salty.
Super salty. It's a big grain, but
yeah, it just seems like such an obvious cash grab. And
it does.
There could have been 1,000 ways that they could have done this better.
Yeah. But I also agree that Emperor intervention is one of the only ways I would have been actually satisfied.
Yeah.
It's already so universe changing. Like, what if he died to do this? Like, he unlocked it and then he died. Or what if he got off his throne?
He just like sacrifices himself to like make it all
if
happen.
you wanted to change, like, you could have done a more meaningful change while introducing this instead of a Gary Stu.
And
move him into full god status.
Absolutely, like kill him and make him be an actual
half the Imperium
being.
Thinks he is anyway.
Yeah. No, it's Anyways, we could go about the Emperor forever.
Heresy.
All right. Wow. Okay. Only one Bob asks, what is your favorite and least favorite thing about the Warhammer community?
People like you, Eric.
Am I your favorite or least favorite?
Search your heart.
Oh, God, I know it to be true.
I, of course, always have answers, but
I
feel like I'm going first every time.
No, that's okay. What's your favorite thing about the Warhammer community?
The people.
100%. Yeah. Like the fact that you can be so passionate about this game.
Yeah.
And the fact that like if you have the right attitude, it's also fun to introduce people into the things that you really care about. Like, it's one thing to be like, actually, you can't do that because, and it's another to be like, cool, like, tell me why you think that's cool. Yeah. Here's why, like, situations like that in the lore might not happen, right?
Yeah.
So, but I like sharing passionate things with other passionate people.
Yeah.
And that's what's really great about 40K is people get really passionate.
I love reading, like, fan-made lore. Even some of them, they're written atrociously, but the concept's cool.
The ideas they have are cool,
Yeah, exactly. Like me, I'm a horrible writer, but I got concepts, and I'll manipulate other people into writing it for me, so it's good.
I'm gonna pay somebody on Fiverr to write my.
Somebody
here's
did
your
that.
story prompt.
Someone
did that we know.
Yeah, Aunt Linda.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he bought a Liber Malleus Marine and he didn't want to write lore, so he paid somebody on Fiverr to write the lore.
Oh, very cool.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Is it good?
There was 2 parts that I'm like, but overall it was good. And the 2 parts that I'm like, was like, it wasn't even a big deal. It was like the one was he was fighting Chaos Space Marines, and this one Marine slew like 10 dozen Chaos Space Marines, and that's just like, okay, that's over the top. Maybe it could happen, but
10 dozen?
I forget the exact number.
120.
But it was a
Baker's
lot, and
dozen.
it was just like, okay, if you just change that to 10, it would be cool. Like my other gripe
sure.
was very much like that, where it's just like a
numerical
rounding
things
error.
are being
Yeah.
blown out.
Well,
of proportion.
scale is always hard to do, especially for
Yeah.
someone if they're not familiar with the universe.
Yeah, so-
Anyways, but that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amusing.
What's your favorite thing about the community, Ian?
The hobby community is like, it's just super strong, and just being able to, like, on different forums like your Discord or whatever, different
Painting forums.
yeah,
or-
Instagram, different,
yeah.
just like connecting with other artists and stuff like that. Like, that's super cool and helps you get motivated to actually
like
have
people-
products get done.
Everyone wants everyone else's models to look good. So
Yeah,
like,
it's very much like nobody wants anybody's stuff to look bad. It's like I've never seen anyone like
there's no trade secrets.
nobody really like shits on other people's models.
Yeah.
To be like everyone's more or less like, here's how you could make that better.
Yeah.
Not like, this guy sucks acid painting.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
a dick. It's like, like everyone's
No, for
more or less
sure.
trying to
I've
build
never
each other
thought
up.
about that, but yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. It's kind of no trade secrets. It's
Yeah.
just like a lot of information on how to get better, to get more people painting, to get more cool stuff on the table, right? Because like everyone just wants to play with painted models. So
Yeah.
the hobby aspect and the community around that is really cool.
Very cool.
And least favorite. I always got things to say, but Eric, what about you?
I don't really like edgy meme culture. Like, I enjoy memes,
Sure.
don't get me wrong, but like also there's kind of like a dirtiness that comes with being a war gamer.
Oh,
Like we say this a lot, and it is a
Sure.
joke, but
There's
there
a type.
is a type. And it's like, there's parts of me, like when I'm introducing like my hobbies to, especially in like professional settings, like
Yeah.
I don't really tell people that I war game, because there's like a perception of people like
All of a sudden that nice beard you have now makes you
is
look
I'm a
greasy.
neck
Right.
beard.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know
Even
what
though it's like,
height
yeah,
it
that's
is.
nice,
I could be
yes.
wearing a suit and fucking tie,
Yeah.
and people will think that
all
about
of a
me.
sudden you're a sweaty.
A
Yeah.
sweaty.
So
Yeah.
I think that is a little unfortunate. I
Yeah.
think we're getting better.
I mean, you can say that about
Hopefully.
most, like, I attend a store and play X game.
Yeah, wargaming.
community.
That's what I meant. Just like
Yeah, but, like,
wargaming in general.
Magic.
Yeah, absolutely. Like card games like that. Like
Yu-Gi-Oh.
there's a type, and it's
Yeah.
a stereotype, and whether or not I think it's real or not, like it exists as a
Yeah,
stereotype.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that's bad. I think like memeing also gets really fucking out of hand, and it's so shitty sometimes that you ruin entirely good writing and good characters
Yeah.
with memes. I will never get over how memes fucked over Abaddon.
Yeah.
He is an amazing character, and
Oh,
I think
yeah, yeah.
I was literally angry on our episode when I was sharing about how people have ruined him for other people.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Because
And
people
it's
were
all just misunderstandings or
Absolutely.
like blatantly.
and they just don't
nothing.
give a shit to know,
Yeah.
but they just want to meme
Yeah.
hard.
Oh, it's the same with Tao.
Someone commented on our thing, and they're like, "Oh, he's armless, that one," and or like, "Oh, it only took him 13 tries." That was
Yeah,
what it
it's
was.
just like, no,
and I was like, "Oh, like, do you actually know the Crusades and like what they've done?" And he's like, "Oh, I actually know nothing about Abaddon." Like,
I
I'm
just
like,
know
well,
that he
then-
has no arms.
I just know that it's a meme. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you're
Right.
ruining like such a crazy experience of learning about this character, all because you just want to meme.
Yeah.
And I like meming. Meming's fun, but it gets overdone, I think, in
Yeah.
40K a lot.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the community. Like, are we just a bunch of like sweaty, unhygienic neckbeard memers who like
Yeah.
make jokes about shitty things? And it's very possible that we are. And so
the-
be better is what I'm saying.
Be better. The memeing one hits me particularly hard because I have to interact with.
There's
I've probably
so many
interacted with
fucking
thousands
memes.
of people now.
Holy shit.
Where they're like, oh, actually this. I'm like, no, that's a fucking meme. Like,
It's not real.
You've seen that
Japanese-
on Emperor's text-to-speech, which, sure, I get it. It's
funny.
a joke.
It's funny.
It's a good joke.
It's intense. It's entertaining.
Exactly. But do not get your lore from them. And then do not come to me talking about their lore, because that's not lore. It's a joke. And I just have to
Yeah.
talk to so many idiots that just... it's fucked. That's
No,
my
but
biggest...
I totally get it.
Yeah, like-
totally. Especially because the passion we have for it
Yeah.
means like when you're passionate about something that's close to your heart. No, and when it's close to your heart, it affects you.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden, like, someone you cared about and respected absolutely shit on 40K and everything about it, you would feel bad about it because of how much 40K means to you. But if someone goes and shits on Paw Patrol next to you, don't give a shit about that shit.
Don't talk shit about
nobody, because it's amazing. But all I'm saying is that you don't feel it the same way.
Yeah.
So when someone takes how you feel so serious and connected to this and absolutely dumps on it, it feels bad.
Yeah.
Right? And so I totally understand that sentiment.
So definitely the meme community.
It's a little strong sometimes,
but they have to be funny. Like Talbot and communists, they're not fucking communists. Stop making that meme.
No, it's not. It's not even connected.
It's not even remotely.
Well,
anything.
the fish people is kind of funny because that's how humans view them.
But I don't think the
Goat
subtlety
people.
of that is
They're cows.
They're like I think people who make that meme actually think that they are fish people.
Okay.
Not that they understand that, the Imperium's a bunch of racists and they think
absolutely
right.
Because that's what makes it funny to me.
Exactly.
Is that the humans
imperial perception.
They're actually super
thing.
fucking racist.
Yeah.
And like that's brutal, but like people just say, "Oh, fish people." But I agree. Sometimes 40K memes way too hard.
Yeah.
That's my least favorite thing about 40K.
Let's shut down our meme channel on the Discord.
47%.
There are also some memes that I enjoy.
Oh yes, if they're done right.
Absolutely.
Like, there's some fucking classics out there for sure.
The one that you showed me of Gaz Cull's new model with the tennis ball
Oh yes,
machine gun attached to his.
That's so
playing
good.
tennis with Ragnar.
Fucking great. Yeah.
Yeah, and then did you see the other one with Abaddon and Boot Gilman playing tennis as well?
Yeah, they both have rackets.
Yeah, and like Abaddon's like his pose is like literally throwing up
Like
a
he's
ball.
serving.
Yeah.
It's like that's funny. Like that's a good
Yeah,
meme.
that's good. Yeah.
But like,
or the one where Abaddon is driving the car inside his suit of armor.
it's just dorky, but so
there's some good ones out there. Okay. His other question, only one Bob's other question was, out of the listener lore we've had so far, whose is your favorite?
So there's been a lot of
There has
listener
been a
lores,
lot,
and sometimes it's hard to remember them all. But when I read this question, the one that instantly jumped to my head, I wish I remember who wrote it, but he basically, his story was like a Forge World that tethered like 3 or 4 moons to his planet moon, and it just like flies around the system, and like it just is such like a 40K concept in my mind. And sometimes I think at one point he even launched one of the moons at something else.
Yeah, I think they used it as a weapon.
Something like that. It's just like, oh my god, so 40K.
Yeah.
But there's been some like really well written runs, like Side Lightning. He wrote this Dark Eldar Kimura one, like that was really well written and stuff. There's been a bunch, but to me, like the most memorable, I think, is definitely like that one because it encompasses the weirdness of 40K.
There's for me, so Side Lightning's like that Dark Eldar one is probably the best written one we've received.
Sure.
The one with like where we were most harsh on it because we really had to nitpick it. Mm-hmm. Like some of the ones like we're really soft on because we're like, well, this person like seems like they lack like an understanding of how 40K works and like the grim dark feeling you're supposed to get out of it. So we're trying to be soft on it.
Yeah.
But Sides, like we picked apart really dumb shit on that one because we were like, man, there wasn't a lot to nitpick.
Yeah.
So it was written really well. The story was really good, but like Dark Eldar just isn't really my thing.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, it's kind of subjective.
Exactly.
Right? On how much you actually enjoy something.
Objectively great story, objectively well written, not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But in that same episode, actually, there was one, I think they were Knight Vassals.
Okay.
And it was like Rogel Dorn had like blessed their house at some point way back when. And remember I was talking about what was it like 10,000 years ago when they actually met Rogel Dorn.
Yeah.
Like I really like Rogel Dorn. I like the Imperial Fist.
Yeah.
But I also think that this guy wrote that story quite well. It really gave like a sense of feudalism.
Yeah.
Also married to 40K and Grim Darkness, and I really liked
included
that.
main characters without making it like snowflakey. You know, like
for sure.
Like,
no, I really liked. That's probably one of my favorite.
Yeah, like
ones.
he included like, they go and swear allegiance to the Imperial Fist chapter master. It's like you guys were talking about. They must have to hunt down this chapter master. Like he didn't write that the chapter master comes and petitions.
Oh,
them.
absolutely
You know,
not.
like,
Yeah.
he included like big characters, but made it so it was very much a one-sided relationship between the two.
Yeah. No,
which is so much more realistic.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because when people write their lore, normally it's like, I'm best friends with Dante.
Yeah. We go for breakfast every Thursday.
Like, I'm a lowly
Calgar and I
battle
passed
brother,
the Rubicon
but-
together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I really liked his.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite ones.
I thought it was cool. I haven't listened to a lot of the listener lores yet, but I thought it was really cool when Brody brought the laminated
Oh yeah.
lore pamphlet with him.
The Void Hunters?
to the tournament.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's what they're called. Yeah.
and won by a landslide because he had an actual tome.
It should be up in that cabinet. Eric's just looking for the thing. Yeah, like that's awesome. Like I love the dedication some people put into their lore.
Yeah, that was super cool.
Yeah.
Here it is.
The
Libra de Venari. It's so cool. It's like bound. It's coiled. It's like printed on like cream colored parchment
Looks like
paper.
parchment,
it has
yeah.
borders and like shit like this gets me.
Yeah.
Just the level of detail. Like you are obviously just as passionate about this as we are about our project.
The only thing you're missing, Brody, is coffee stains and burnt edges.
yeah,
Crinkling the
exactly.
paper.
Yeah, come on. Everybody used to do that for their
I know. Yeah.
school
Pirate
projects
map,
and
like,
shit. Yeah,
Anywhere from like grade 5 to grade 8.
Yeah,
we were doing that.
crumple it up. You come to school like mine's the fucking best. I'm gonna win.
All the same.
Yeah. Fuck.
The other one that jumps out at me, I don't think it's been submitted yet, and I forget who wrote it.
Okay.
But it's a very cool story because part of what 40K is too is while it's a serious setting, you can find humor in it. Not because it's intentionally funny, it's so absurd that it's funny.
Ooh, yeah.
Right?
It's so absurdly grim that you're like, what can you do but laugh?
Yeah,
at this?
exactly. So it was a night house on this giant forest world where like every tree is like 20 feet thick, like giant rainforest. And basically the whole purpose of this night house is to provide paper for the Imperium.
Oh my God.
So
That's so good.
right? Because like if you think about it, like
No, where does the Imperium get their paper
Right,
from?
they're using their fucking Reaper chainsaws to just mow down trees
Yeah.
and then like turn it into pulp.
yeah, exactly. So,
So
basically like the river or the planet had like a giant river system that all connected at one point, and at that point is a starport, the only one on the planet. So they cut down trees,
They
and
put them
float
in-
down the river,
and
to
that's where the
sport.
factory is.
Amazing.
Yeah, like it was just like it encompasses
How
that.
have we not read this yet?
It hasn't been sent in, I don't think.
Oh man, that's
Did you
so
just read
good.
it on the Discord or something?
No, like
Or someone's just chatting.
someone
and,
was.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I wish I remember the
That's
guy's
funny.
name. Sorry that I
That's
don't
so
remember your name.
good.
Definitely write that up so we can read it, because if you haven't already, 'cause-
I enjoy that so much.
Yeah, like-
and it's such a microcosm.
yeah, and like it speaks to more than just like war. Like, yeah, obviously the paper has to come from somewhere, I guess.
logging
Like,
Where are all the
Company of
candles?
Knights.
Where do all the candles in the Imperium come from?
yeah, like
Right? Like,
Ears.
where do all the robes come from?
Right.
yeah. So that one was definitely like, cool.
It's just like it's an abstract question that was
Yeah.
asked.
yeah. So once again, sorry I don't remember your name. Next question.
Okay. Oh boy, we are like halfway done, and we're over an hour in.
We're getting there. That's fine.
Woo! Weremole3 asks, "What abandoned plot line would you like Games Workshop to come back to?"
Abandoned plot line.
I wouldn't mind seeing a resurgence in the Eldar mythos.
That'd be okay. Yeah, like
Yeah, like a bigger presence of Isha and like Kane, like what happens if Kane comes back or whatever.
yeah, okay.
I wouldn't mind that. Like
Yeah,
now
yeah.
that Iniad is coming up and everything, maybe their
Yeah.
gods are starting to emerge once more,
Right.
and I think that would be
they
kind of
break
cool.
free.
What are their
yeah.
opinions on her showing up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what? What was the question?
Like what would their thoughts be?
Oh, like what
on-
would the Eldar's thoughts?
Yeah, like Kane comes back and is
Yeah. So I think
what
that
do you
would
do?
probably be one of the ones I'm most interested to see, because I don't want to see a lot come back.
No.
In all honesty.
like, no, because it comes back to like we like the loose ends.
Yeah, exactly. Like I enjoy loose ends, but that one,
Yeah.
like, it's just an abandoned plot line. Like they're like, okay, the gods are gone. Like, were they even real to begin with? Like, we don't
Yeah.
know. But all of a sudden, if like one of their gods was like, I am Vol,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that would be kind of cool. Because they wouldn't play a huge role,
Yeah.
right? Like the Eldar is a dying race as it is, so they can't do anything beyond like, well, let's just kill as many fuckers as we can before you die out, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see that. I think I would enjoy that.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just.
I don't have anything for that one.
just scanning real quick my brain.
Yeah,
knowledge.
it's a fucking big setting, Mark.
Quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Can we come back to that one?
Yeah, sure.
I know I'll think of something here.
Sure. Next one. Banhead1990 asks, should there be a Tau dedicated melee unit? I know Farsight Enclave has the option, but perhaps the rest of the Empire could be given the option. Perhaps a dedicated melee crisis suit? Question mark.
Part of me really likes that Farsight Enclave has this like adaptation, like they've specialized in this and they're like a separate unit from the rest of the Tau Empire, but also like they're just in fucking suits. Like they could easily make a combat suit that the Tau like warrior himself, like Tau are not physically combative.
Whatever they lack and they are weakened, their technology is meant to bridge the gap,
suits, right? Like, right. So like
So why don't they have swords and blades blades and shields already?
They think it's just distasteful.
Yeah.
But it's still necessary. Imagine how much better they would be.
So my answer for this would be I wouldn't like to see Tau.
You'd like to see one of their auxiliaries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
very cool.
They're petitioned as like, or not petitioned. They're
assimilated.
Yeah.
They're mercenaries.
Yeah.
They're frontline mercenaries.
But they're viewed as like these ferocious close combat warriors, but they're not. Like on tabletop, they can't do shit.
Right.
Like
they're like these savage kind of like
that are like supposed to be super dangerous, but they're just not. So I don't know. I think you could make like
I totally agree.
I wouldn't like to see Tau, but I would like to see like another Xenos,
one of their allied races that are just like these.
I'd be just as cool with that. I don't have the attachment to Tau that like you do. Yeah. I'm more willing to see Tau fucked with, is what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it makes more sense that Farsight and his Enclave have like adapted a completely different style of fighting because they're separate from the Tau Empire.
Yeah.
And they maybe have some more melee capabilities, but like the rest of the Tau wouldn't.
Yeah. Are we done with that one?
Yeah.
I got my abandoned plot.
All right. What is it?
Okay, so I'm not sure how abandoned this is as the series is not yet done, but the whole Cabal and Alfarius plot line.
Okay.
Where the Cabal, like it's a super secret organization that apparently runs the galaxy, but they're only mentioned in one book, really. I don't know if they've come up a lot, and if they haven't really done anything influential. I know they have John Grammaticus who comes up a couple times, but even him, it's like, okay, he doesn't really do much. Like
the Cabal is an organization that told Alfarius, "Hey, you need to help Horus win, and then eventually chaos will consume itself, and we'll be free of chaos."
Yeah, and that whole aspect, I don't really care about that Alpha Legion aspect of it. I care more about that organization, because apparently it's this huge fucking organization, this super powerful, super intelligent, multi-species things, but we never hear about.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that like that's the only time you hear about the Cabal is in conjunction with Alpha Legion.
I'm pretty sure, but yeah, like it'd be, I don't know, you could definitely do things like that where, they're doing other things. I don't know.
Okay, here we go. The Cabal. Where is it mentioned? I'm just on their Lexicon page to see what their sources are.
Yeah, I think it's going to be in the book Legion, and that'll probably
4 novels apparently it's mentioned in. So Legion, The Unremembered Empire, The Beheading, and Old Earth.
Okay.
But I don't know like to what degree those are mentioned in each of them.
Yeah, like all I know is I haven't really heard much, and if there is something, it's probably not anything serious. It's like,
Would you like to see the story of how they interacted with Alfarius expanded upon?
Or
would you like to see their presence in 40K?
I would like to see what happened to them. Are they still in 40K? Like, there's a lot. How did they
it's been 10,000 years.
Yeah.
But it is a very large organization.
Yeah, that has been around for millions of years.
Yeah, how has humanity not bumped into them on some sort of like actual like racial level? Right? Humanity as a whole hasn't interacted with the Cabal.
And as far as I'm aware, it's not like a super numerous organization, but it's like, I don't know. It just seems like they came up with this cool Illuminati type faction that drove this one plot point that has never really been mentioned again a whole lot with anything super crazy, right? I don't know.
This is one of those where it's like, send us what you think.
Yeah.
Also,
I've only read the 2 books that they're in. Like, so I have read Unremembered Empire and I have read Legion, but I haven't read the other 2. And I don't remember them being really in Unremembered Empire. Like,
I'm assuming it's some very abstract.
It might have just been some weird throwaway line.
Yeah, it probably didn't even mention the Cabal. It's just something that people are like, oh, like I think that's talking about the Cabal.
So yeah, I think that would be my, I had 2 minutes to think about an answer.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm just reading about the ball.
What do you think of 40K expanding into other forms of media, like with Marvel starting off to produce 40K comics and announcement? I think we kind of talked about this one.
We're excited for them as long as the people behind the projects are passionate just like us.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they understand the setting.
Yep.
So, yeah. I'd love more comics, actually.
Yeah. I love 40K artwork.
Yeah.
It's very rare that I see a piece of 40K artwork that I'm like, yeah, that's crappy. Like,
yeah.
Most of the time, I'm always like, yeah, I'm for that.
No, of course. We just want to see more content. It's cool.
Yeah. The only thing I would kind of put a small little caveat beside is like, I don't really like Eisenhorn, the fact that it's a live action TV show. No, I feel like
I'm a little nervous about it.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I can just picture like this.
The Witcher was cool.
The Witcher didn't have a lot of CG though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Where
there weren't nearly enough monsters in The Witcher compared to what there should have been.
Yeah,
true.
So I just always think about the WoW movie.
Yep,
where
that's
it's like
the
that
live action.
mix, and it's just like, oh no.
But you look at their cutscenes in World of Warcraft.
Ooh.
Why the fuck don't they make videos out of that?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's awesome. But the whole
it's a
live
fantasy
action,
world belongs in that fantasy setting.
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried
Yeah,
about this one. Because I'm worried that there will be a lack of alien representation just because, like, how do you properly do that without spending so much money on CG?
Yeah, like Eisenhorn, I don't think there's ever a Space Marine in it. And
that's okay.
No, that's fine. Yeah. So you don't have to worry about that. And it's very, like, he's an investigator investigating chaos cults and stuff.
He's Ordo Xenos, isn't he? But he does a lot of Hereticus and even Malleus.
He wants to be.
That's honestly how it feels with him. Like even I'm fairly certain he's Ordo Xenos.
I'm pretty sure too.
But he does he's bumped with the Ordo Malleus and the Ordo Hereticus. He's been declared like excommunicatrix like 2 times, I think. And
so I think he's
a very colored history. So I think he's a cool person.
Yeah. I think they chose the right show, like Eisenhorn, because there isn't going to be a lot of stuff. Like you're not going to have to worry about them live role playing an orc or whatever, live actioning an orc or CGIing one, because I don't think they ever come up either. It's a very investigating type setting.
Yeah.
Very.
Did you ever watch Altered Carbon?
I haven't yet.
Okay. That's kind of how I see him. Like he's just this guy, like this badass guy that like has some knowledge that everyone else seems to lack, living by his own rules and just getting the answers that he needs and fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
It's like a devil may care attitude that I really think Eisenhorn could bring.
Yeah.
Just to be like, like you want to fuck with me? Like I'll rip your brain apart with my brain.
Yeah. Brain battle.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for it, but the live action makes me a little nervous.
Yeah.
Just because I think WoW was a huge flop.
Yeah.
And I think their problem was literally the live action. The story wasn't bad. It was just their representation of it.
Yeah, like when you watch when you just are watching like the orcs doing their orc thing in that. WoW.
Oh, it's so weird.
Oh, I like it when it's just orcs.
Oh.
It's just the juxtaposition that makes it look bad.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
As soon as you put a human next to him, that throws me all off.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, correct.
Yeah.
So, next question. What's your favorite model, 40K in general, one you built, painted, one you've seen online, custom, or non-GW?
I know this one. Off the top of my head, I know.
Oh.
It's 6 orcs, all of them carrying a piece of a Land Raider.
Okay.
And when you put them all together, it makes one fully built Land Raider.
It's actually a rhino.
Is it a rhino?
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Okay, but yeah, sure. But it's like, okay. But yeah, no, it's like.
I know your favorite model better than you do.
But yeah, it's just so well done and it's so orky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's my favorite.
Iain?
There's this. I saw this Wraith Knight painted online. The artist's name is Hendarian, I think. He owns he makes a painting app called Brush Rage.
Okay.
But he painted this Wraith Knight and it looks like it's completely made out of wraith bone, like the construct, and it's got he's like painted 3D like effects on it, and I mean he's like a master class, like could win a Slayer sword. This motherfucker's crazy.
Sure.
And I'm doing a shit job of it explaining it, but it's just, you see this thing and it's just like, that is the most Eldar construct I think that exists, like
just
visually,
Eldar.
And it's just so cool. Like you can kind of almost see like the weird like wavy wraithbone like swoops and curves and shit, like just painted in 3D upon like these flat panels, and it just looks unbelievably cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Dead air.
Well, Mark, it's Mark's turn.
My favorite like miniature ever is Aragorn when he's in the Helm's Deep battle and he's running with his sword like this. He's just about to charge that Uruk-hai pike line. Like, it's an awesome miniature, and it just takes me to that moment in the movie every time.
Really?
It's fucking my favorite model
That's
ever.
pretty cool.
Now, if it had to be 40K, I make the exception for that one because it is a GW model.
Yeah.
But if it had to be 40K, it would be Imperial Knights. I fucking love them.
For sure.
They're such an iconic looking thing. Like,
I mean, my favorite basic model is the Swarm Lord.
mm.
Fuck, buddy's so cool. Oh, man.
Oh, hot diggity.
Hot diggity.
Yeah.
Or the Emperor's Champion.
Ooh, that's a good
Black Templar.
Yeah, that's another
a good
great one. Yeah.
That guy
Yeah.
is sick.
It just, you get a real feeling of what he is.
It's kind of like the Aragorn model, like that pose that he's
Yeah.
in is just like you've donned that. It's like that moment where he's chosen.
All right, like
Yeah.
it's time to.
Yeah.
Do what
He's
needs
like
to be done.
shed his former everything, and
Yeah.
he's like
Yeah.
being embodied by. Yeah, that is super cool.
Yeah,
like
that's a
very
good
cool.
one.
when they capture a moment in the model, that's like the really
yeah,
good ones.
exactly. Like, you can see the inspiration behind it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not just like some bland.
It's not just Space Marine
chimeras.
holding a
Yeah.
bolt gun.
Right.
Yeah.
I also really like the Archaon model for Age of Sigmar, the newer one.
Yeah, the one on like
Actually, every iteration of Archaon, I think, has been awesome. From him being on foot to the horse Dorogar, and
what
then,
about his very, very first model?
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. He had a model on foot that was like from a Golden Demon Games day
Mm.
years and years ago. It was really cool.
Yeah,
He got
that's a
cool
pretty
when he
sweet
got put on the
model.
horse, and now the dragon is unfucking believably cool.
That's a pretty sweet model.
I think he's had even one other model.
Oh no! Okay, final
Like a-
answer is Harry the Hammer.
Harry the Hammer. I'm googling that. What's it from?
Those who know. But Harry the Hammer is the best model.
That's pretty cool.
Miniature.
What do you like
Harry
about
the
him?
Hammer.
It's just
Miniature.
iconic Warriors of Chaos.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Oh.
like
This is like
It's very
the
cool.
old school
Yeah.
Warhammer fantasy art. This guy, I feel like, encapsulates a lot of that.
yeah.
Cool
Very cool.
fucking
I like that
chaos.
hammer with the mouth open, and
Yeah, man, he is sick.
that's very cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
One of the very few models
Why
that
is he called
had
Harry the Hammer?
It's one of the, I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I'm sure there's a reason.
Well,
One of the few
We'll
models
never
that had
know.
a display base
Oh.
like built into it. Like the whole thing is just a big metal plinth.
okay. Next question.
What is your favorite 40K book? Why do you like it? And what is your least favorite 40K book and why? Books set in the 30K do count. So just any, I'm assuming, 40K universe book.
Yeah. So my favorite would be it's really 3 books. You can't do just the one. It's the first 3 books in the Horus Heresy series.
Those are your favorite?
Yeah.
I like the opening line of that. Like, I was there the day.
Yeah.
he slew
Horus
the
slew the Emperor.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, but
and
then-
everyone like is joking about it.
Yeah.
And no, it opened up the series very well. I think.
and I just feel like Space Marines in 30K can be a little more interesting than they are in 40K. They're not as hypno-indoctrinated. They don't have the whole Emperor
they haven't gone
religious
through 10,000
fever.
years of rituals.
The other
They're like
really nice
closer to
Yeah.
their Primarch.
Yeah. The other really nice thing is they had human characters in it because fucking Space Marine books. Fuck Space Marines. They're not
they're pretty
interesting.
boring.
Yeah. But yeah, like just that whole 3-book series, it's really cool. Like you follow this character.
Yeah, and you're learning about who Horus is for the very first time.
Yeah.
Like it's actually kind of fun to be on that journey and learn who Horus and how the Mournival interacts with each other.
Yeah.
And there's some really good moments even with Erebus in there. Those are good books. Those are honestly really good books. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite 3?
A
favorite one, I mean?
I honestly really enjoyed Solar War.
Okay.
Like there was just like the sense of impending doom that pervades, I'm assuming, the entire series, but like the Solar War, it's just everything is just shitty and then more shitty and then more terrible and then more terrible things.
Shit.
Yeah,
so I took your pile of shit and put more shit in it.
It's one of those things, like, you know how it's gonna end. You know it's like the death of the most beloved person in the entire human race, like the Emperor. And so the thing is, like, you know, like, if it's this bad already, like, how bad is it going to get? And I like that. I like when you know that you're being led on a journey of just, if it's like we're building you up to this being an exciting journey, I like that too. I just like consistent and like solid. Like, it's not like there's hope. Like, there's literally no hope in this.
Yeah.
Even from, like, when you're talking with Sigismund or you're talking with Dorn or Malcador or even the Emperor, like, when you interact with him in the book, like, it is a very depressive setting and tone.
Yeah.
And I really like that. I think it was very, very well written, Solar War. And I'm really excited to see the rest in the series. Lost in the Damned was not nearly as good. It was pretty disappointing compared to Solar War. But yeah.
I've never read a 40K book.
Yeah.
But
Unsullied. Perfect.
You know what also is a really great thing that they wrote? They wrote really well? Murder. The planet Murder with the arachno.
Like, that was cool, man.
Like, that was, what are they, arachnids or something? I don't know. What there
Megarachnids.
Megarachnids.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they were on this planet Murder, and I think they wrote that really well.
Yeah.
And, like, the interactions between, you get a taste of what different Space Marines, how they interact with this same thing very differently. Like, is it Lucius that's on there with the sword,
Lucius
the blade?
Is there.
Yeah, like, you see how he interacts with it versus everyone else. So I think that was written also very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I definitely think Solar War.
Okay.
I don't have a least favorite either. So
I'm gonna go with the first Space Marine book ever written where he eats his own shit. Because
coprophagia.
Yeah.
Love that.
That's just, you can just, I guess, recycle your shit and eat it as a Space Marine. That's something
why
you
not?
do.
Your body is
That's
peak
just,
efficiency.
That's just something you do. No, I don't know. I haven't read enough 40K books, really, to be honest, and
me neither.
Most of them
I
don't really like. I like knowledge. No, like I like hard facts as opposed to stories. I'd much rather read a Wikipedia article than read a book.
You want to write your own stories, but read about things that are actually happening?
No, he doesn't even like writing stories. Like, he prefers writing facts out.
Yeah. Like, I like, and in my head I can do stories and stuff.
Right.
But, like, no,
I
like
for your armies and stuff.
Yeah, like, I like facts. I like cold hard facts more than I like books. So
that's probably a little disappointing. It's kind of crazy that we do this, and, like, I don't read a lot of 40K books. Like, I've read maybe like 10, but out of how many, right?
Out of hundreds. Yeah, I've probably read like 50, but
that's still a lot.
Yeah.
What? I thought you couldn't read.
Well, okay, audiobooks. I've read probably like 10, but listened to probably around 50.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't particularly enjoy them all that much. I don't know, like,
there's much better authors out there.
That's the thing. Like,
and all the information I get, I can find online through, like, and codexes. I read codexes all the time.
Yeah,
they are
are
amazing sources of knowledge and information.
Cool. Yeah, and that, I'd rather read something like that.
I would way rather read a codex than read one of their stories. Unless they're all written like Solar War level, then I enjoy it.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Next question.
Gray MJ asks, which minor race do you think works best, or do you want to be converted into a full army with models, rules and such, and why is it the Rakghoul?
So the reason why it's Rakghoul is because they're a galactic player. They have great lore. They're different both in appearance and motivation than anything else in 40K right now. The also other nice thing about it is you could actually visualize like a model range for them, because
it's very fleshed out on how their different beings act and what roles and types they fill.
Yeah, and like they have bionics, so some of them could be like these giant bionic lizard things, like you could do a lot where people are like, oh, I'd love to see a Hrud army, but like, really, what do you do with Hrud?
They just have Hrud migrations. That's it.
Yeah, so you just have Hrud.
You put a Hrud on the board and it just walks by and you die.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's nowhere to really go with it. Where like the Rakghoul have spapeships. Like, they got all
these things look crazy.
They're very hunter aspects.
They're so sweet.
They're very good.
They're basically like Predator in 40K.
Damn.
They just love to hunt. So yeah,
But yeah,
I think that's
they
why
definitely.
we've talked about
They
that
fit
a
a
lot.
lot. They hit a lot of things where you're like, man, they hit this, they hit this.
Wow, there's so much on them.
Yeah, like they're so fucking sweet.
Like they deserve to be a playable race way more than the Tau do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Tau.
Damn,
But,
these look sick.
Look at their spaceships; they're very cool too.
Vernal Mia writes asked, do you guys have hobbies besides 40K?
And it's a silent room. Okay,
Mark, do you have
Oh,
hobbies?
it's for you guys probably. They're not as interested in me.
tell us.
Yeah,
I'm
let's-
interested in you.
Eric and I have played WoW for 12 years
I've
or
played
13
WoW for a very
years.
long time,
Nice.
yeah. Longer than any man should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
I enjoy video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like reading. I
Not
don't
as
know.
much as you
It's
should.
like, do you list everything?
Yeah, all 47 hobbies.
All right. I really like camping and hiking.
Okay.
I like long walks on the beach.
Swimming.
This is your Tinder profile?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what I have at home. I play music.
Yeah, I guess you do.
Yeah.
You play guitar.
Mm-hmm. I really like to cook and bake.
Yeah, that's
Actually.
weird.
Eric made me cookies.
Yeah.
Well, he
And
I
didn't make
bribed
were-
you.
They
He didn't.
were.
He did that sounded. He didn't make cookies explicitly to give to me. He
Yeah.
brought me a cookie.
You were an afterthought.
And
Right.
what was your reaction?
You guys
to the
were
cookies?
not. I see. I brought cookies here.
Frozen.
Well,
For
you need to
this.
try harder than we do. That's the whole level of relationship we're at right now.
I give you guys $10 a month, and I have to bake cookies. Fuck.
The $10 a month is just his army rental fee.
Yeah.
That's pretty valid, honestly.
But yeah, no, I really like to cook and bake. I think that's really fun to do.
Yeah. Mark.
Yeah, what do you like to do, Marcus?
I like getting banished to my garage.
Cats. You like cats.
Yeah.
You like pets.
Hobby.
How is that not a hobby? I spend so much time with my cats every day. If that's not a hobby, I'm clinically insane.
It's like saying hanging out with your girlfriend is a hobby.
It absolutely is a hobby. If you didn't enjoy it, why would you do it?
It's just not a hobby.
So, me saying hanging out with my wife is a job.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
good.
Well, do you get paid to do it?
I don't know. She feeds
For
me.
goods and services? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I don't really have a lot of hobbies. I like just hanging out with people. Like I'm usually just down to just hang out with people. So
What's your number one hobby, Ian? Besides 40K?
ear spacers.
Yeah.
Yeah, stretching.
He does it 24/7.
stretching My asshole.
My God.
Anal
That's
training.
a statement.
Other than 40K, like, I don't know, man. Probably just video games. I spend a lot of time wasting time on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube, Instagram.
just-
Yeah,
you
I-
disappear
around.
pretty quick into
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, I enjoy playing video games if it's like a good video game, but I don't just play just to play games.
I don't know.
definitely
40K is
do.
my hobby, right? Like I'm kind of the type of person who likes to put all of
your
my
eggs
eggs
in
in
one-
one basket,
yeah.
and it is very much this
That
basket.
way, you either get all your eggs or you break them all.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put an egg into every different basket and then you're guaranteed
Then I
to
don't
never...
have all my eggs.
No. But then you're never guaranteed to lose
I want to
all
be able
your
to eat
eggs.
50 eggs.
But you
Two
might
eggs
lose
is
all
not
your-
enough. 2 eggs is not enough.
You might lose all your eggs. That's all I'm trying to say. God.
This metaphor went over my head.
If you suddenly became the owners of GW, what 3 changes would you make and why?
If I owned Games Workshop,
Just come up with 1 change. 3 is a lot.
yeah. One change, jeez.
Melee Primaris.
That would you kick in
Well,
the
no, like, you
door
know-
on a Monday morning.
You know that's in the works, right? You know that's coming.
I don't know.
I'm
There's
skeptical
no way
now.
it isn't.
I'm skeptical now.
What?
I know it would be absolutely asinine for them not to include it, but like,
Mark is
so
utterly convinced that they're going to make Primaris Terminators.
They're gonna.
How on earth then can you be so convinced with that, and not that the fact that they're going to make a Primaris Melee option? Primaris Melee makes way more sense than Primaris Terminators.
I'm sure that they will, but
way
I'm just,
more.
it's more that I'm just like, I'm sad. Like, it's been, what,
Of course,
3
yeah.
years?
Of course, we all want to see
How
it,
is there
but
not,
it's definitely
how does that not
coming.
exist?
We got reverse.
Yeah, fuck you. Stop complaining,
Right.
guys.
Ah,
They gave
sorry.
you skull masked reavers.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Unpopular opinion, but Age of Sigmar would have never came out.
If you were
Yeah.
really, you would have just scrapped Fantasy forever.
No, I would still be playing it.
You'd have kept fantasy.
Yeah.
I think AOS was really smart for them.
So do I. And it's not a popular opinion, and nobody really likes fantasy, but
I don't even play fantasy. Just like number wise, like AOS, I think was really smart for them.
totally. A lot of people are more invested in that.
But it was brutal for all the people that were really invested in fantasy.
Yeah.
If I could change one thing, it would probably be stop giving licenses to just fucking everything. No more Monopoly 40K, no more Bandai shit. And then I'd get kicked out because they're like, well, you just ran our company into the ground.
Yeah, we don't make any money with you around, Mark.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I honestly don't think all those things are, like, they're good for the company. Like, I don't know, are they good for 40K? Like actual 40K setting and lore? Like,
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Because
you feel like it's diluting the...
Yeah, I feel like
franchise.
it's diluting.
There's one argument to be said for, like, all right, you need new people, always an infusion of new people into the hobby, right? So, and if the people who are playing already bring their friends in and it's not enough, how do you bring people who are completely unrelated to 40K into it? And I think, like, their books and their movies and TV, that's all, like, one way that they're trying to attract people into 40K.
I'm okay with books and movies and TV shows.
Do you think it's attracting the wrong people?
Yeah.
Nobody's buying Monopoly 40K other than people who play 40K, though.
Yeah, no, right? I know. Like, I don't know.
That's
to
true.
me, it just is weird in my mind.
It's just like, why?
Why? Yeah, like, why bother putting resources into that when we should have Primaris?
Well, I don't think...
I don't know. Like, obviously, from a business point of view, they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, like,
but in the same vein...
we don't know how to run a business of that magnitude, right? So.
Right.
We're just a quick 2-person business, you know, that hasn't even gotten paid.
We don't make money.
Meanwhile, please buy the Lorehammer duvet on Redbubble.
Practice what you preach, Lorehammer. That's hilarious. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I think I would go the opposite direction as you.
Sure.
I think I'd open up the licensing. Like, I really love what Star Wars did, what George Lucas did. I love the fact that he was like, hey, you know what? You want to write a story in, like, Star Wars universe using, like, these characters? Like, go for it. And some of those stories are much better and much more well received than others. But it's not like people shit on all those stuff. Everyone is just excited for the content that's being released. And I think I'd probably go that route. But I'm also not as married to, like, everything as you are, right? So I'm more willing to see some things changed and trampled on a little bit if it's for the growth of either the people or the company or whatever.
You and me would look at it very differently.
We do.
You would actually look at it from a business point of view.
Yeah. Like, I know that would change what I have right now. I 100% know that. Yeah. But I do think that would be my go-to.
Yeah.
And that's why we don't run a company together, because we literally are opposed.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's why anything we try and do will just be absolute trash.
Mark's like, wait, what are we doing here?
Have you even released any content?
No. Mark, we literally just record this, and then I just put it on a drive. And
what have I been listening to?
I don't know.
Not Lord.
How did I even get here?
You got here because your ex is the cousin of Eric's.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Every person you interact with is actually just me, Mark. All those people in the Discord at the same...
Oh, it's Trevor doing it all.
All those people in the Discord voice channel at the same time, that's me.
That's impressive.
I just have a bunch of different mics and voice modulators.
Okay, next one. We're almost done here. What would you want, mechanically speaking, from 9th edition, rules and stuff, not lore?
Yeah.
I want templates.
Yeah, we quickly talked about it before. And
I want templates back. Give me flavor and templates.
All of us would take some templates back.
Templates, for sure. Is it going to be good for the game? Is it going to be good for, like, tournaments? Absolutely not. But do I want to use them for fun?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love templates.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're awesome.
It would not be good.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't play enough tournament to fully say, like, whether it's good or bad. But it would definitely change.
It's bad because then you have to actually space out every miniature 2 inches apart.
Yeah.
And also, there's a lot of arguments. You have to get tournament officiators way more into it. Like,
is this guy getting hit?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot more
I can see that
for
then.
human error.
Yeah.
Which they just need to move.
It's fun.
They just need to move tournament to TTS, and there will be no problems. Remove any human error from that game.
Yeah. So, templates on on a personal
Super
level,
fun.
yeah,
I miss them
but
so much.
Is it good for the game? I don't think so. But yeah, that'd be cool.
Only one Bob. What in-universe armies do you think need fleshing
Still
out
a
the
lot of
most?
questions.
Yeah, I know. What in-universe armies do you think need fleshing out the most? Something that lorically plays a large part but has little tabletop to back it up.
Yeah, it's still Tau. The minor Xenos.
I think it's the opposite.
Yeah, because it's something
He's
that
asking for something
plays
that
a large part.
This is
and Tau
your
don't.
dark mech.
Yeah, exactly. This would be dark mech.
Okay.
Yeah,
Something
plays
that
a huge
lorically
part,
plays-
but has no presence on the tabletop.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I'd say dark mech for sure.
Yeah, that's a good answer, I think.
Yeah. Why has the galaxy not drifted apart?
Due to loss of
Science.
central gravity, since the star cluster at its center has been largely swallowed up by the Cicatrix maledictum. Unfortunately, our physicist friend actually didn't come today.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say warp fuckery.
Yeah, exactly.
Gribblies.
Please.
Wow, we just ripped through 3 questions
Yeah.
in like 40 seconds.
Mark's like, we're almost done here. Oh, wait, there's a lot of questions. Speed round.
Boom, boom.
All right. Are there any settings within 40K you'd like to see explored more, be it with books or its own game like Necromunda or the Plains one?
I really want to see Battlefleet Gothic come back.
Really?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if I'd play it, only just because I don't have time. Like, I can't do another hobby. Like, otherwise I'd be playing fucking Adeptus Titanicus.
Right,
you
yeah.
know?
I'm not the demographic either for specialist games, but if they were going to put one out, Battlefield Gothic was cool.
Yeah, like you own the airspace, you own the world. Like it's such a crucial part to 40K. And one thing about 40K is just like the craziness of space combat. You have these mile-long ships with hundreds of thousands of crew on it. Like, I don't know, it's such a
personally
crazy
don't
aspect.
see why they would have done the Aeronautica
Yeah.
instead of putting
Even
out Battlefield
Titanicus, like
Gothic. Yeah, it's like what?
seems
Well,
weird.
everybody loves Titans.
Sure.
And the
Yes.
models on Titanicus are way better than the models on Gothic.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
we're saying if it got re-released with new
Yeah.
model support.
Yeah, I think that. What about you, Eric?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. We don't have a lot of experience with like Necromunda or Blackstone Fortress or like Blood Bowl. Like the only game we've really played is 40K, Kill Team, and then that night one, the Night Jousting. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Which is like all of those. Like I enjoy. They're all really fun.
yeah.
I've heard a lot of good things about X-Wing. It would be cool to like see.
Well, isn't that like what Battlefleet Gothic was?
Right.
Like Battlefleet Gothic, did it turn into X-Wing?
Don't know.
I don't think so. No.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy here.
X-Wing's Star Wars.
Yeah,
probably.
I don't know if there's any setting I'm particularly looking
Yeah.
and like hoping for.
Yeah.
I'm pretty satisfied with like the content I can consume
Right.
Yeah.
right
Give me
now.
more
in
40K.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which AOS army, in your opinion, could do with being brought into the 40K universe? I don't like that. I don't
Trick
like.
question, Chaos Demons.
Yeah, Stevens. Got him. Yeah, I personally don't like the whole, like everything needs its counterpart. Like, I don't want to see Space Skaven. I don't want to see Space Lizard people. Like, they're different settings, and I like that about them. I don't want to see something ham-fisted into 40K.
Oh, I didn't interpret it like that. I interpreted it as like there's a planet with Skaven on it, or there's a planet with the Lizard Aztec people on it. I didn't see them as like a
Like you
a
think that that's like a
galactic
feudal
player.
world existing?
Yeah,
in
that
the
was how I
40K
pictured
world?
it.
Oh, sure. Then any of them.
That's why I was saying like any of
Yeah.
them. It doesn't matter which.
know.
But in
Yeah.
terms of a galactic player, like
Yeah, it's like a playable faction.
It's got to be the Lizard Men
it would be the Lizard Men.
because
for
the
me.
old ones are.
That's right.
The
You
creators
sons
of both.
bitches.
Yeah.
Now I'm angry.
Like I don't. I know that when like obviously you guys talk about like the old ones in 40K, they're not the same thing. But I always just picture like the Slan
Yeah.
from like the Lizardmen faction just like floating around and seeding all these races.
Weren't they at one point the same thing?
Well, because like even in AOS now, like the Lizardmen are no longer Aztec-y. Like they scrapped all of that lore, and now they're like these astral beings that come from the cosmos. So like
Yeah,
they
they're,
are
like,
more or
made of,
less
like,
the same
celestial
fucking thing.
energy and stuff.
So
I thought didn't they
Question
learn their
answered.
lesson with Stormcast Eternals that that's not something people enjoy?
no, because I'm pretty sure that's the highest selling
Oh
faction.
my god!
Pretty sure everyone really likes them.
Shows what I know about AOS.
Yeah.
I really got my thumb on the heartbeat of
Yeah, you're in
the fandom of
in
AOS.
the reads.
Yeah, no, I like different things. Like I like keeping my.
There's already so many
Yeah.
cool descriptions of minor Xenos races that
Yeah.
aren't in 40K
Yeah.
that I would rather see one of those.
Exactly.
Like, do you remember those like jellyfish that were like no bigger than the palm of your hand, but they were psychically so powerful they could knock out a Primarch?
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I would like to see a little bit more of that, maybe,
Sure.
instead of Space Skaven.
Yeah, they have enough in 40K as a setting that they don't need to take.
They don't
from
need to take
something.
anything from something
try
that's
to
already
shoehorn it in,
established. Yeah.
Plus, it's literally already Chaos Demons. It's a crossover right there. Just
Absolutely,
buy
yeah.
Chaos Demons. You
All
can
right.
play both.
We got 3 more.
Okay. Was all of 40K like the Dark Age, Age of Strife, Great Crusade, the Horus Humbug, and everything all part of the Emperor's plan, is being trapped on the Golden Throne and worshipped as part of his plan, of a god, part of his plan?
All right, so here's the next half hour.
We could sum it down. I think
Yes.
the Emperor, you have to look at him as one of 2 ways. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Either, yes, he had to have planned everything and that he intentionally made all these stupid choices that a normal human being would never make. Like, he's just so bad with people.
Which one are you talking about specifically?
Just like anytime he interacts with anybody, like why didn't he tell people about chaos? Like the Primarch's about chaos.
Yeah.
Why didn't he help Angron's
Angron.
homeworld? Like there's so many ones that are just like, why did you not do that?
I think there's 3 ways of looking at
he's
the
just
Emperor.
above it all.
I do honestly think that's...
You could look at it like
I think
that
that's
for
how they
sure.
write him. I think they write him that he does not give a shit about the individual. He never has, and he never will.
Yeah,
And
Right,
I-
but is that because he has this whole grand plan and he's seen into the future, like he's predicted everything, that the individuality
Well, he's
doesn't
guiding.
matter?
He's guiding humanity, but I just think he can't. He doesn't have the time to worry about Angron's individual
But then,
needs.
like, what about Malkador? Like, why did he not step in at any point? Be like, hey, now Emperor, like, I don't know, like
I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
enough about their relationship personally.
the best buds.
They are very good friends.
They,
The
in
Primarchs-
fact, do go for tea every Thursday.
The Primarchs do call Malkador uncle. There is like a familial
Yeah.
relationship, and Malkador is like the one of the very few that actually has the Emperor's ear as a counselor.
Is he still around in 40K?
No,
Oh,
he's very dead.
He's in dust.
Oh, I
He's
don't know.
dust.
Yeah,
anything.
and like even the way you see Malkador relate to the Primarchs, like there's like an actual like relationship.
He treats them
there.
like people.
Yeah,
the
like-
Emperor does not treat
No, I
them
know,
like people.
but it's just yeah. So that would be the third way. Literally, he's just so oblivious, which I think sure that's possible. I just don't see how that's likely. He spends, 40,000, however old he is, thousands of years with humanity. Maybe he does transcend them, or you would get to know them so well.
Well, there's the
like
it also could be like if you played with a puzzle your entire life,
Yeah.
and you mastered it by the time you were 2,
yeah.
but you were forced to play with this puzzle for the next 80 years of your life.
Yeah.
At what
You
point
would
do you
be-
grow sick of this puzzle?
You would be so good at doing that puzzle and manipulating that puzzle, you could do it with your eyes
But
closed.
he is very good at manipulating people. He
No,
is
'cause
very
everything
good.
just falls apart and
He just He doesn't need to manipulate people,
sure.
right? Like,
Sure. Okay, 3 options.
You and I view him very differently.
Yeah, I
Which
can
is
get-
okay.
I can get that third option for sure. Definitely very much where he just does not. He is so above and beyond.
He just
Or-
can't understand,
or he
he's
planned
He's left
everything.
it behind a long time ago.
And then my new one that I'm quite a fan of is the Emperor is actually retarded.
He's what now?
Yeah.
He's an idiot, Mark is saying.
Yeah,
He's-
so for his entire life, he basically relies on his psychic powers to see everything. He has all this foresight. And then the Horus Heresy, a couple hundred years before it, or a couple years or whatever, it's stated that he loses his ability to see into the future.
Yeah.
So now he doesn't know what's happening. So up until now, he literally
He's just trying to pick the best path.
Yeah, every decision he's made, he can see the outcome and he chooses the best one. Now it's unclear to him, so he's like, "Oh, should I help Angron? Let's roll a dice." Oh, I guess I'm not going to help him. Like,
I don't know if at that point it was. I think that was his decision.
I think so too.
I only think in the couple years leading up to the
Yeah.
actual Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
But I do know. I get what you're saying.
like because
Yeah.
it just either he is so detached from humanity he can't understand basic things about humanity, which that's possible for sure.
We don't understand basic things of ants. What if our relationship to ants is his relationship to us?
But if I spent my entire life with ants,
You can't communicate properly with ants.
I'll pheromone on them, Eric.
You can't. But all I'm saying is that, even
yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I
It's
get
one of
it.
those
I get it.
alien theories, actually, is that maybe aliens have been here, but we are to them as we are to ants.
Yeah.
They've
Like
observed
we
and they don't see us as like important enough to put.
Or even if they would have we would love to communicate with ants and say, look, don't come inside our house or we'll have to spray you.
Yeah.
But we are actually unable.
I like that picture of you talking to ants.
Hey,
Stop, buddy.
Stop.
Don't
Come
make
on.
me do this.
But all I'm saying is
Don't
that
make me do this.
there is that level of difference between
Yeah.
intelligences, and it
Yeah.
could be that that's the level between him and us. He literally cannot communicate because he exists on such a different level than we do.
Yeah, but so
And-
I get what you're saying for sure, and I can definitely understand that when it comes to like
The idiotic one is way more fun.
it's
For
that's
sure.
the thing. I can get that differential when you're talking about like the Emperor compared to an Imperial Guardsman, but the Emperor compared to Magnus, like
I'm pretty sure he's acknowledged that he made some mistakes, though.
Has he? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he
I
acknowledged.
personally find him
yeah.
to be the worst character in 40k, followed by the
Erebus.
Primarchs in order of number. But
even those goddamn missing ones.
Yeah.
but
Yeah. It depends on what perspective you choose
Yeah.
to shed your light on the Emperor. Is he fully in control? Is he orchestrating everything to be a god? Is he actually idiotic? And
Yeah.
because I don't mind that. Like the whole thing, he's actually lost, and he's just as lost as he knows what it's in that moment that he knows what it is to be human.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Where he's like, I actually understand that I can't predict what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah.
Right. Or the one where he's actually transcended and he cannot interact with us in any meaningful way.
Yeah.
He lost that a long time ago or whatever.
Yeah.
So it depends on how
does-
you choose to do
he
it.
does have like some meaningful relationships though, like even during the Battle of Terra, like he sees, however they write it now, hard to say, but he sees like a guardsman or a custode, and like he didn't want to kill
On
his,
the flagship.
yeah, and he didn't want to kill
That was
Horus,
the
and
last
then
straw.
that was the last straw. Like so, it like he has this. I don't know if that's hope or if that's like a relationship with Horus. Like who knows how the Emperor's seen that, but like
Ooh, I might have an answer for that.
okay,
So the Emperor individually created Primarchs, right?
yes,
But he would have created them with a desire to see the success of the Great Crusade. And Chaos tainted that.
yeah,
Right? Like all these beings, like no matter where they were, they rose up against
Yeah.
injustices, to take order, or were amazing learners or like leaders of where they were. So you can already tell there's like something in their body that was placed there.
Yeah.
Right. And so maybe when he sees the callousness, he's like, Horus has like what I put in him has been so fully abandoned
Yeah.
and twisted and corrupted by these powers. He's like, there's no coming back from this. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll just kill him.
yeah.
And it could just like, it's not that the Emperor understands what he did to that individual. It's more like my creation, my tool is so warped.
Yeah.
I should just get rid of my tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I do feel like he doesn't view them as much as they
And-
call
well,
him father, and
yeah,
he
yeah,
might
they've-
call them son. Like he is not. He has
Yeah.
no fatherly
not
relationship
love,
with them.
Yeah, they've definitely started to write him that way for sure.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
do you think 40K will end? If it did, would you want it to? Like an AOS reboot or move into 50K and have a whole new set of armies, characters, substantial changes, and existing ones?
No, I don't think it will end because I'm pretty sure Games Workshop is making the most money they ever have.
Yeah. So that's something that lots of people don't ever consider or they don't know is the whole reason why Fantasy ended is because it was a dead game. No one was playing it, and the people who were playing it already had their armies.
They had to kill, like it was the sacrificial lamb to try and reboot and reintroduce a new crowd of people into it because
And it was very successful.
Yeah,
So
no, they did
they've
a
already
great
done
job.
it once.
But
40K is
need
successful
that.
enough. It
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah,
need it.
yeah, 40K has always been way more popular than and it's only getting more and more popular. So I don't think they ever will. As for going into like the future, I don't think they're going to 50K and stuff.
50K seems much too far.
Yeah, like I
I
can see them progressing in intervals of 100, 200.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I think that's way more likely than
like what
skipping
year are we in
10,000 years.
presently?
It's
Yeah.
M40.
Two.
Is it M42?
M42, yeah.
I always forget because I said it once and it was wrong and I can't remember
Yeah,
how I
okay.
did it.
Because in the 41st millennium was the tagline, but then 200 years has gone by, so now it's M42.
Oh, yeah.
But that's still 4-1, blah, 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 blah. It's the 42nd millennium. which means it's the year 41000
We
to
did it.
41.
We're getting another email.
41999, right? Is that not how that works? The 42nd millennium is 41000 to 41.
All I know is that the reason that the stars are not spinning off into space
it's warp fuckery.
Warp fuckery.
Yeah. Okay.
So I wouldn't like. I don't want him. 40K to me is a setting and not a story. So I guess in that logic, you could do a 50K setting, but fuck, why? Like
they could just randomly come out.
We've talked about that
like,
before of them doing a 50K and how things might change.
Yeah. Would I be at all invested in it?
Probably
I
not.
highly doubt it.
Probably not.
Like either it'd have to be the same as 40K, in which case what's the point? Or it'd be a completely different setting, and it's like, well, I like 40K.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's possible 50K we actually enjoy it more, but
if they did a reboot, it would have to be something like.
It would have to be better,
be 50K,
or else we wouldn't play it.
Completely different. Yeah.
But I just doubt it.
Yeah. Probably. Why? All right. So we have one more.
Okay.
If any race were to quote unquote win 40K, which do you think deserves it the most and would handle it the best?
So I think that's two different questions.
Which race deserves it the most?
Very subjective.
Yeah.
Both of these are.
Yeah. Well, no, one is not.
Yeah, it is.
No.
What does it mean to handle it the best?
Which one is not subjective?
He says the second part.
Yeah.
What does that mean to handle it the best? Does that mean it's the safest for the race that won? It's best for everyone in the galaxy?
Yeah, and I would imagine it would be best for everyone in the galaxy. I'd imagine
for everyone? But what if they're all dead?
Tyranids.
Humanity's vision of winning is wiping out literally every other race in existence that threatens
I don't
their
think that's best for the
divinity.
galaxy, though.
Humanity can never
But it is
win,
great for
right?
humanity.
Yeah, but that's not best for the galaxy.
Yeah, but they can never win because chaos will always exist when humanity exists, right? Just impossible to deny.
Chaos will just exist
and handle
at this
it the
point.
best. Like
No,
humanity
Tyranids.
doesn't handle
Not if
things
Tyranids
well.
No, chaos does its own snowball now. I'm pretty sure you cannot ever get rid of chaos at this point. Anyways, sorry. Who deserves it the most to win?
Deserves it the most.
Yeah.
That's just a weird question. Nobody deserves.
Who is most likely to win? It's not orcs, and I swear to God,
Yeah,
if
it's not
anyone
orcs,
messages
it's
us
not
and
fucking
saying,
Tyranids.
but if they banded together, it's not a thing. They are not the most likely.
Yeah, I guess
No.
you have to look at it with like a lens of what is present in 40K right now. Like I
And
would
how does
love
it
to
work?
say Tyranids, but like with the high fleets in the galaxy right now, probably not. Like you could say this is only an eighth of what's out there.
Yeah, but you
The
have
rest
no
of them are
idea.
arriving. But
Yeah.
that's like same.
Yeah.
Orcs are never gonna all band together.
No.
That kind of thing.
Chaos.
Has to be
Really?
chaos.
Chaos is gonna win because you.
I
Can't.
would have done Necron.
Shut up. You just play.
Eventually, though, like Necron will get destroyed by chaos. Like eventually,
Maybe.
maybe, or they just leave each other alone. Like once it's no more.
It very well
but-
could be. Like,
But like ultimately, I think Chaos's goal is like to kind of consume reality.
you think so?
I think so.
I think
Like,
Chaos is very
complete-
happy with where they are right now.
Sure,
Yeah.
feeds them well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
kind
you-
of interesting. I feel like it might be the Necron.
It might be
and
in-
Chaos living like Necron are the masters of the material plane.
Like,
and
it's definitely not
Chaos is like-
Eldar.
Yeah.
Like, definitely not Eldar or Dark Eldar. Definitely not humanity.
No, not Tau.
Not.
They would handle it the best. So
They.
Sure. I mean, if Tau actually managed to somehow
If every race,
propagate
joined the greater
everybody,
good.
yeah,
it
like,
would be awesome.
yeah,
It would be good, but
Quite
greater.
yeah. So
Yeah, I do think Necron though had a decent chance.
yeah, I could put them as top contender for
Yeah.
sure.
And
Necron or
Chaos.
just because they're both so they're eternal.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the humanity will die out at some point. Eldar will die out at some point.
Technically, Necron existed before Chaos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chaos in the form we know now. Yeah. I would put between those two for sure.
Humanity has like the greatest small chance, just because they're everywhere and they're most
Sure.
prolific.
Sure.
But they're too prone to fighting each other. Absolutely.
Yeah, like
they
Chaos.
resonate way too well with Chaos.
Chaos always just comes in. Like
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah, for sure.
the antithesis to.
That was long. Holy,
We did it though.
my God.
That's episodes. Another episode down for these guys.
Good job.
There you go, boys. We
Enjoy.
did it for you.
Happy quarantine.
Stay safe.
I don't know if this helped or worsened your situation.
Well, it
but
definitely worsened it. They
I
had to
hope it
listen
helped.
to us.
Yeah, I hope you find it interesting. We plan on doing more of these. We're doing the Lorehammer lockdown, so we got more to come here. Join our Patreon if you want to support us. You know, times are tough, but $1 goes a long way.
Yeah.
A really long way.
Stay safe out there, folks.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Bye.
See ya.